There is only one Whale. James Whale on Talk Radio.
Tony.
Is that James?
Yes, Tony, you're on the air.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Right, we don't
No, that sounds like Iain Lee.
Oh, yeah, it's Iain
Yeah,
Lee.
It's Iain
it
Lee.
is. Listen.
Good ears, man. Good ears.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, why are you're encouraging people basically to switch off for the last few minutes of the show, killing my audience?
No, we've passed it on to your show with the seaside debate. You're doing the scene. We've passed it on. Callers. What do you think about
that? James, I know it's been a while. I know you've been a bit in local radio for a few years. I was as well, and it took me a while to get back up to speed. But you need to up your game, James. Come on, man.
What's your favourite seaside town?
Bognor, of course.
Yeah, Bognor.
Bognor.
Bugger Bognor.
I'll beg your pardon.
Oh, come on, guys.
Okay, so it's time now to turn off.
Everyone
Iain Lee
turn
is
your radios
about to
off.
come on. Turn your radios
Come
off.
on, please. I'm asking you. Up your game, James. You're nearly as bad as John Holmes.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's that bad. Come on.
Come on, please. You used to have it in you. I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, you were a dynamite.
Yeah,
You
it won't
still
do
got
any
it in
good.
You, James.
You still couldn't come on and fool me, could you? I remember the time I phoned you on that other rather miserable local radio station and pretended to be a gynecologist.
You were talking about white wee-wee. It was hilarious.
Oh dear. Right, listen, I'm going to the pub with Ash, so I suggest you get your backside in here.
Yes, boss.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
should we just take over the programme? Do it
If
for
you
a bit more.
fancy it, because, you know, we're probably better at the seaside
The problem
debate.
is,
I mean, you know.
yeah, if we come on and up the audience, he's going to be knackered, isn't it, really?
Well, no, but it'll still go on his name. Oh, look,
right, I'm going.
He's here.
You going?
Yeah, we're going.
No,
I've had it.
just go.
All right, let's go.
Let's go, early.
No, we're out. That's it. Come on, let's go. Ash.
He's still got 5 minutes.
Ash, out.
Shall I go?
Now.
No,
come on.
I don't mind.
Ash, out.
Do you want me
You've
to?
got to wrap up.
Ash.
It's the last couple of minutes.
Well,
He's
that's
putting
it.
his periscopes
That's it.
up.
We thought we just.
I'll do it. Go on out.
Periscope isn't up at all.
Watch and learn, Grandad. Watch and learn. Out. Go on.
I'm proud to be
And take
a
your pet
granddad.
hippie with you as well. Go on.
No, I'm
Oh,
contracted
hang on.
till 10.
Actually,
Yes.
I've
you
got
want
to
to
be
see
on
my
that.
granddaughter?
Yeah,
I've got
go
a
on.
really nice. Show
Oh,
you
yeah,
around
look
the
at his
door.
granddaughter. She's going to be a
nice.
star, man.
She's cool. Oh, you don't want to see me shooting a bow now. Hang on.
She is
You
going to
love
be a
your
star.
archery, don't you?
I do, yeah. Hold on. Here
He
we
was
go.
a Surrey
Here we go.
under-16 champion of archery.
Gosh, yeah.
God, you've got some racy pictures on your.
Look at that's a good one.
He does the archery show on Talk Sports on a Sunday afternoon at 1
I'm
o'clock.
trying to find
James
I'm gonna
Whale
find
is,
it, I'm gonna find it, don't worry. I took
showing
my
me
glasses off.
pictures on his telephone.
my
It's
glasses
as dull as you might
It's like,
imagine.
it is like local radio,
It's
but
on,
made
yeah.
nationally.
Hold
This
on,
is
hold
it.
on, Hold on, here.
He's
here.
been at BBC Local.
Here.
Yeah, no, you've got to slap it out of him a bit.
That is very funny.
She's cool, isn't she?
That's very. How old is she?
12.
That is very, very funny. Look at that.
She's
Absolute
good, yeah.
genius.
She's good.
Well,
Good, that's it.
What's
Well
on
done,
your
guys.
show tonight?
What?
Apart from Seaside, the
tonight we're
Seaside
going to
debate.
be getting people to phone in. Well, hopefully, the last couple of weeks.
Everybody off now.
The last couple of weeks, we've had people phoning in complaining about this show.
Yeah.
So, please, guys,
We've
don't phone
done
in.
A lot of good then, haven't we? Really.
Controversial.
We can get people to phone in for you.
Send
Yeah.
emails of complaint to Denny Morris at Talk Radio, or make your complaints to
I
off.
would
Ash. Send them to
them
Ash.
to the Director General of the BBC,
Yeah.
actually. if you're gonna make it. Because I'm actually going to do the job. I've applied.
Have you applied?
I have.
Oh,
It'd be good, yeah.
Because I
wouldn't it?
reckon I can do a better job than the Director General.
you
so,
saying Tony Hall's not up to it? Wow, that's anyway.
I'll have to be reasonably
James,
careful,
please,
because I'm still
James
working
Ash,
that.
get out of the studio.
We'll get out.
No, well, I
Get
think
kicked
it's-
out our own show.
Yeah, well, I'm
mean, it's
saving
an
your
outrage.
asses, guys.
No, you're
It's
right.
outrageous.
We don't need
I've
Good
never
evening
been
to
so
the listener.
insulted in all my life.
This
He's
is
talking again.
Ian
around
Lee
time, isn't he?
on Talk Radio. I can only apologise for the last 3 hours. It's an embarrassment. He's out of practice. He's not done it. Will you please just get out?
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio. Give it some lift.
Talk Radio.
They've gone. If you can fetch me an air freshener, Catherine, because it absolutely stinks in here of men's arses and arses. This is Ian Lee. This is Talk Radio. It's Monday night. I thought we had a guest book for this evening. We haven't. It's Wednesday. So, instead, it's pretty much anything goes. Start calling now, 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Today, I took the plunge, guys. I took the plunge. Not a literal plunge. It doesn't have a swimming pool. You know I'm getting tubby, right? I'm like 16.4 or something, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life, right? I don't know what I normally am, but it's not that. I know, it's because I'm taking this antidepressant metazapine, which is an anti-anxiety drug, and it's great, and I take it an hour before I go to bed, and I sleep like a baby, although it's interesting, it's an anti-anxiety drug, right? So my anxiety in my day-to-day life is reduced significantly. But then I get really anxious dreams. What's that all about? Anyway, it messes up my metabolism, and it means I'm never satisfied by the amount of food I've eaten, and also it does things, so I think it processes the food differently. That may or may not be the case. Anyway, I'm fat, and I don't like it, and that's not in any way an insult, against other fat people. I just don't like me being fat. 03444991000, by the way, if you want to call in. I don't like me being fat because, I think it looks on me. I'm only speaking about me, guys. Stop having a go. I think on me it looks horrible. And it means that I get out of breath quickly. And it means, and here's the thing, and it's embarrassing to say, but I'm going to say it, I really struggle to bend over and tie up my shoelaces. Imagine. I find it uncomfortable to bend over and tie up my shoelaces. And I struggle with food little bit anyway. I wouldn't say that I have a massive problem with food, but if I'm feeling crap, I'll eat a load of rubbish, and if I hate myself, I'll eat a load of rubbish, and if I have a rubbish day, I'll eat a load of rubbish. So there's something going on there. I don't drink or take drugs no more, so I can't do that. I've kind of tried to stop myself buying stuff off eBay, and actually, I think I've been pretty good. I don't think I've bought anything off eBay since I bought that Paul Simon box set, which was about 2 months ago, and is still in the cellophane. Of course it is, because I'm never going to open it. So I do all of these things that punish myself, low self-esteem, or take me out of myself in the way that booze or drugs might do for some people, or just stop me having to feel. Do you know what I mean? Just stop me feeling. And buying stuff off eBay stops me feeling for a bit. Some of you will get that. Some of you won't get that. And the food thing kind of stops me feeling, but also, and here's the key, here's where I think a lot of addiction stems from. Low self-esteem equals self-hatred equals punishment, you see? So the reason that some people drink to excess or take drugs to excess is a form of punishment. I am less than, therefore I deserve to be punished. And here's the thing, drinking and taking drugs for a while is actually quite good fun. That's why, and I'm not saying this, because I'm condoning drugs. It's a fact. That's, you know the drug ecstasy. There's a reason it's called ecstasy, right? Because it creates an ecstatic state. Not in any way, again, I've got to stress, because I get told off by my bosses they misinterpret this stuff as encouraging drug taking. Au contraire, guys. Au contraire. Not encouraging in any way whatsoever, but, drugs are pleasurable. Although apparently the first few times you do heroin, you throw up a lot. That doesn't sound like a fun drug to me. But people work through that. People do. Apparently the first few times you take it, you just throw up. And you get really, really ill. And the hardened brown users will say, oh, you need to work through it, man. You need to work through it. But drugs can be pleasurable, but there comes a point for those people who cannot stop taking drugs that the pleasure disappears and there is no pleasure in it whatsoever. And it's all about self-punishment. A lot of it is about self-punishment. Resonating with anyone? It might be resonating with some. And it can be anything. You can be addicted to pretty much anything that changes the way you feel about yourself. Should we do a list? Drugs, obviously. Alcohol, obviously. Sex, love, shopping, food, gambling. Let me just recalibrate and try and capture my thread. There was a reason I was doing all this. Oh, yeah. 0344 499 1000. So I've been putting on weight, and part of it is this drug that I am taking, metazapine, and part of it is self-hatred and punishment for being a dick and ruining my life. That's kind of what it boils down to. So in an attempt to combat this weight gain, I've tried eating better. I've tried eating better. And didn't lose any weight. It kind of balanced, the weight kind of evened out at around about a steady 16 stone 2 or something, which is still too heavy, I think. So today, guys, I did the thing that I vowed I would never do again. And I went and I joined a bloody gym. I went and joined a gym. Now, gyms, I haven't been a member of a gym for about 4 or 5 years. And boy, oh boy, they've gone up in price. I used to be a member about 5-6 years ago of my local Virgin Active. And it was I was earning quite good money then. And it was I'm sure it was about 56 quid a month, which is quite a lot of money. I looked at Virgin Active, and I think it varies from gym to gym. But I looked at one It was just shy of 120 quid a month. I'm sure it was. If I read the website wrong, then apologies. I'm sure on the website it was about £119 a month. Flippin' heck! That's outrageous. So I wasn't having any of that. Then I found you can get, there are different chains of gym that they're like sort of smaller. And they don't quite have all the same facilities. But you can join these gyms for like 20, 30 quid a month. And there's loads of different ones. The one I went for is Pure Gym, right? And it's 20 quid a month and there's no contract. That's the beauty. That was the beauty for me. That was the thing that got me. There is no contract, because the contract is the killer. When you go steadily for like the first 2 or 3 months and then you just think, or maybe your financial situation changes and you go, nah. But there's no contract. So I can opt out any time I want. So I drove to the gym. I could have walked it in 28 minutes. I drove to the gym today. And I was dreading it. I was absolutely dreading it. But the beauty of it was it was like being in either Japan or the future. Thank you, Ed. It was like being in a cup of tea has arrived, which is always an important part of the show. It was like being in Japan or the future. There was no one there. There was no one there. There was no fit young woman or buff young man behind a counter that I would have to present my fat, aged body to and say, I'd like to join the gym, please. There was none of that. There were 2 computer consoles in the entrance. And I typed in my details. And I gave them my bank details, and suddenly I had a membership number. And then you go to this pod, and you type in your membership number, and you step into the pod. It's a very slim pod, so you can't smuggle 2 people. I have to, you couldn't get a really fat person in there either. And you suddenly I was in a gym for the first time in absolutely bloody ages. And, The thing you've got to do at your first entrance into a gym is walk around like you know where everything is. Because I didn't want people to go, oh, look at that fat guy who used to be on the telly. He's not been here before. He's new. He doesn't know what he's looking for. So I walked around confidently like I knew what I was looking for. And I bought a padlock from the padlock vending machine, £4.20, right? And when I eventually found the men's changing rooms, you can reset the padlock. The instructions tell you how to reset the padlock, and I, of course, reset it to 69.69. Bill and Ted gag, of course. Except I reset the padlock wrong. I don't know what I did. I didn't have the numbers lined up in the correct place, so I don't know what number I set it to. So I spent 15 minutes trying to work out the combination I had just set on the padlock. I couldn't do it. So, of course, I had to go upstairs and buy a second padlock, £4.20, £8.40 in total. 03444991000. And I went upstairs, I got changed, went upstairs, and I thought, I'm just going to do a little bit of running. I've signed in for an induction on Wednesday, and I've put my name on a waiting list for a spinning class. Flipping heck. But I thought I'll go up and I'll do a little bit of a run. And I did, and I ran for 35 minutes. I ran 5 kilometres. I say ran. I walked about 1.5 kilometres of it, but I kept moving for 35 minutes, and I wanted to die. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that dawned on me today, that I've always felt uncomfortable in gyms, right? Because I'm always thinking, everybody's going to be looking at me. And everybody's going to say I'm really unfit, and they're going to say I'm really fat and sweaty. And it dawned on me today, no one cares. No one gives a toss. No one gives a toss. No one gives a toss about anybody else in a gym. And once I'd realised that, I felt free. free to exercise and be fat and sweaty and to get out of breath and to make old man noises. I made a lot of old man noises and no one looked at me. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Now, all I did was let me rephrase that. What I did, and I'm very proud of it, is I ran for 35 minutes, 5 kilometres, and then I remembered how to use some of the weight machines, the weights. So I went downstairs and I used one of the weights machines with ever diminishing sets of pumps. Is it pumps? It's one of the ones where you're pushing up. And so I did 10 at 40 kilograms. Then I did 7 at 40 kilograms. And then I did 5 at 30 kilograms. Because it hurt. And I thought everyone's going to be, oh, no one's looking at me. No one cares. No one cares. And that was all I did. And then I went and had a shower and I got changed and I walked out and my body hurt like buggery. Not quite like buggery, but similar to it. And I felt energized. I never get the adrenaline rush. Talk about things you can be addicted to. You can be addicted to going to the gym and pumping off. And I've never had that adrenaline rush. Oh, I saw a bloke as well, a very muscular bloke. It must have been taking steroids. He must have been. Good for him. Good for him. If that is what works for him, being buff and having a tiny useless penis, then good for him. Well done, him. He's made that decision. Had a shower. Need to get some new headphones for my iPod because they kept falling out of my ear. And I went and sat in my car for a few minutes. I thought, I've done it. And I shall go back there tomorrow and do another 5K and some more pumping off. And then I've got my induction session on Wednesday, half an hour. You get half an hour with someone, and he's going to give me, or she, going to give me suggestions on what exercise I should be doing to lose weight. Spinning free classes. Oh, boy. Now, let's be realistic. The odds are I'll be sick and tired of this in 3 weeks' time. And that's fine as well. If that's what happens, that's fine as well, isn't it? You see? 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
By the way, if you're looking for a hook on which to pin your call this evening, I should stress, this is a phoning show unlike any other phoning show. I'm just going to sit here and talk stuff that comes out of my mouth. And you can call in about the stuff that I talk about, or you can call in about stuff that you want to talk about. There are no rules apart from. You may not call in about Brexit or Trump unless you think you can say something that's completely unique and hasn't been said yet on a phone-in radio show. One person's tried it so far, a grumpy old man called Barry. Good evening, Barry. He thought he could say something unique about Trump. He couldn't. It's impossible. That's why we're just simply not going to do it. You may not call in about Trump or Brexit unless you think you have something new and unique to say about it. You can call in about gyms. You can call in about your weekend. You can call in about your dying cat. 0344 499 1000. We call you back. Ed.
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Ed.
It's Ed Miliband.
Wow, this is great to talk to you, Ed.
Well, it's a pleasure to be on your show, Iain. And can I say, on behalf of the country, you do a great service to radio broadcasting.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say.
It's absolutely no problem. Now, I really respect the fact that you come on with very little agenda and let people have their voice on your show.
Yes.
I've got some free time now, so I thought I'd phone in just for a little chat. I kind of miss being interviewed.
What would you like to chat about, Ed?
Well, I heard you talk about gyms earlier on, and I was wondering what you think about communal nudity in gyms.
Do you mean unisex, or...?
No, like, just lots of boys hanging out
Well, I mean, I don't really notice the people hanging out naked. It was I kind of went at about 3:00 today, so it was quite empty.
Yeah. Well, I was in Iceland in February, and they have a huge culture of communal nudity in showers.
They do that in Japan as well. They have, you get if you go and stay in an old-fashioned, I can't remember the word, Rotokan, something like that. An old-fashioned Japanese, an old-fashioned Japanese hotel. Down in the basement, they will have communal hot baths, and it's wonderful.
It's really great. I think it's a great atmosphere of openness.
Yeah, it is. It is,
Yeah.
and once you get over the embarrassment of it, it's fine.
Yeah, and you kind of notice the pessiness of your own feels and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, actually, now I think on it, collective nudity, but I would feel uncomfortable being naked in front of women. It would have to be in front of men.
Yeah, me too. I'm very awkward in front of my wife.
Is that true?
Yeah, she tends to laugh and point a lot.
Why don't you talk to Alan about this?
Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. What kind of cake?
Dundee cake.
That's my favourite cake. I'm doing your voice now, Alan, instead of Ed Miliband's.
Hang on a minute, what do you mean, Ed?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
What?
I'm confused.
Ed?
Sorry, that was my personal assistant.
I'm confused.
Well, of course you are, Alan. It's a day.
Yeah, but we're working to help people like Alan be less confused.
Well, I wanted to talk about Martin Roberts on I'm a Celebrity.
Oh yeah, he's very soft.
He's doing really well. What's your opinion on it, Ian?
I don't know. What's your opinion on it, Ed?
I think that it shows that it's okay for men to cry. There's a huge stigma around men showing their emotions. I think that Martin Roberts going on there and crying at everything really does show that it's okay for men to be emotionally weak.
It reminds me of Paul Burrell.
I didn't quite catch that.
No, when Paul Burrell was on I'm a Celebrity, he cried.
Yeah, and I think it's okay because all men cry.
Well, I don't cry.
Oh.
I think Ian must cry sometimes.
Yeah, he must.
I cry. What do you mean I must?
I was being facetious.
I cry from time to time, and you're right, if Martin Roberts has taught us anything, it's all right for men to cry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I want him to win I'm a Celebrity.
He won't.
Who's going to win?
It's really good.
I don't really care, Alan. I'm not watching any of it. It looks rubbish.
I think Larry Lamb would win.
Yeah, he won't.
Yeah, they asked me to go on every year.
Buster.
McBustin' Buster?
Larry Lamb, he was in Buster.
I couldn't care less. I'm not interested. I don't know if you've picked this up, Alan. I'm not interested in I'm a Celebrity. It's boring.
What reality TV do you like?
Well, here's the thing, right? It really annoys me when shows that aren't reality TV are labelled as reality TV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Ed?
I do. My good friend, Mr. Balls, is currently making the nation laugh every Saturday night on the Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah.
And it's great, because I have had many great times playing with my balls, and it's great that the nation are now enjoying it too.
That is not a reality TV show. It's a dancing competition.
No. What about X Factor? Isn't dancing.
X Factor is not reality TV. It's a singing competition.
Well, I think Honey G will win that.
I couldn't care less, Alan. Why are you talking about boring programmes?
What about Big Brother?
That is a reality TV programme, yes.
I've auditioned for it once.
What?
I auditioned for Big Brother once.
Oh, God.
Well.
And if you didn't get on, that says something.
This was back in 2004.
Thanks for calling, Alan.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Alan.
You don't have to call in, guys, about boring TV programmes. You can, but I've watched... I tell you, the only bit of The Jungle that I enjoyed, Ed, that I saw... I've seen two bits, and one of them was when I was watching Gogglebox the other day.
Yeah.
And it was Carol Vorderman.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Stood on she had to walk out 100 yards off the top of a building and hang from
I saw that in Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah. That looked good.
Yeah.
But I'm not really watching I'm a Celebrity. I think it's a little bit...
No.
bit tedious. But yeah, it's a real bugbear of mine. It's a real bugbear of mine. Sometimes they'll refer to documentaries as reality TV. No. It's a documentary. And Strictly is a dancing competition for celebrities, and X Factor is a singing competition, talent show. That's all it is.
Yeah, the truth is that reality is pretty boring.
Yeah.
So these are entertainment shows, so there's lots of falsities added in.
There's lots of what? False titties?
Yeah, false titties.
Wow. Well, thanks for calling, Ed.
Pleasure to talk to you. Have a good show.
Sorry? Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, it does annoy me. I can't think of any other examples right now. But when they describe everything as reality TV, well, no. A lot of the things. Let's think of the reality TV programs we can think of. Big Brother, yes. Celebrity, yeah. That's it, isn't it? They're the only reality TV shows that I can think of. I can't think of any others. What's that programme where they go and open a dead man's shed? What's that called? Haulage truckers. No. You know the thing, they go, a man has died, and they go and they open his shed, and then they buy the crap that's in a dead man's shed. Storage hunters, that's it. That's not reality. When have you ever seen so many people crowding around a dead man's shed? It's not reality, is it? It'd be good if it actually was a dead man's shed. Then I would totally watch that. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Do give us a call. We call you back. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Alan called in to talk about some pretty tedious television programmes. And it reminds me, I've discovered perhaps the funniest cartoon ever made. Every now and then they'll make like a funny cartoon. Remember when Family Guy was like really funny and stuff like that? A couple of you recommended Rick and Morty to me. And may God bless you for that. It gets 9.3 on IMDb. 9.3. It is hilarious. There's only 2 series of it, and I've done nearly all of them in 2 days. It is the funniest cartoon. Basically, has anyone else seen this, or is it just me? I've got a feeling that maybe 3 other people. Have you seen it, Ed? Do you like it? Basically, it's this guy, it's this kid, and his granddad is like an interdimensional pisshead, basically, and they travel through time and space and belch a lot and have sex with robots, and that's it. Really, and it is so funny. I can't get ball fondlers out of my head. It is just... It's Dan Harmon, of course, who is an utter genius, and who did the excellent Community. And I'm trying to get Dan Harmon on the show. When I say I'm trying to get Dan Harmon on the show, I sent him a tweet. So maybe some of you could not bombard him. Oh, no, stuff it. Bombard him. Can you get Dan Harmon on the show, guys? Because it would just be... Well, it might be an anticlimax. These things often are an anticlimax. But it'd be good to get him on the show because it's so funny. And and Community was so funny. And it's really interesting to see kind of new and original stuff. Speaking of new and original stuff, 0344 499 1000, by the way. We've got Hannah and Dana and Carl. I'll come to you in a bit. Speaking of new and original stuff, me and Kath are taking a punt live on stage on Sunday the 29th of January. Get this, right? It's the venue that we normally do it in London, right? And if it works, we'll do it elsewhere around the country. We're going to go up on stage with a table, my laptop, 3 microphones, and me and Kath, and we're going to do a phone-in show podcast, huh? So we're going to announce kind of like on Twitter and Facebook, we'll say, right, between 7:30 and 8:15, we'll do 2 shows in one night. My Skype will be open, and people can ring up my Skype, and we'll do a phone-in show, which will be weird because you won't be able to listen to it live. I know it's confusing, which means we might need to do it on Periscope. I don't know. I need to get my head around the logistics of it. Periscope might happen, it might not. But also, if anybody in the audience wants to come up on stage and join us and sit at the third microphone, then they're welcome to. Also, if you want to phone us from the audience, you'll be welcome to. And so we're doing this thing, and I've got no idea if it'll work. It could be a complete and utter car crash, but isn't it exciting to see two people die on their arse? Because that's what it might be. Where have you ever... Let's put this out, right? I mean, this is proper experimental stuff, doing a live phone-in show that people won't be able to listen to as they're phoning in. And recording it and putting it out as a podcast in front of an audience. What? When was the last time you went and saw something that was proper experimental? Trying to think. Like proper genuine tightrope walking without a safety net, and I mean that literally and metaphorically. Because I can't think of any time I've seen it, really. Watching Jerry Sadowitz perform, you get the idea that it might go tits up. We saw a play called The Drowned Man, but that was never going to go wrong. That was always, that was a well-oiled machine when we saw it. So it might fail. And isn't that exciting? And if it fails, do you know what it will be? It'll be a huge success. Yeah, I know. Once you get your head around that concept, it's brilliant. It's freeing. If you want tickets, it's only a tenner. Ticketsource.co.uk/Iain-Lee. It's on the 29th of January, and there's only 32 tickets left. If it fails, that will make it a success. Wow. Once you grasp that concept, then nothing can go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, you'd be welcome to come along. Ticketsource.co.uk/IAIN-Lee. And it could be the future. It could be the future, or it might just be, and we'll probably put it out on Acast, who do brilliant podcasts and stuff. Or it might just be a thing we do once and afterwards we go, well, that didn't work. High fives all round, guys. Fun, huh? Anyway, back to this nonsense. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Dana, Hannah, Kyle, stay there. Come to you after this.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000. Yes, Dana.
Hip, hip, hip.
What kind of cake?
Lemon drizzle dripping lesbian cake.
Oy.
That might have been too much. Sorry.
It's a little bit. I think we've banned that disgusting phrase. Although we're not anti-lesbian on this show. Not in the slightest. No. Everybody is welcome on this show.
Welcoming, yeah.
Whatever you do with whomever, wherever you put it, or if you don't have it, if you buy one and wear it and put it somewhere, as long as the person or creature that you're putting it in the vicinity of is of legal age and is consenting, then you're welcome.
Fine.
You're welcome on this show.
This is it. Whichever phone box you find yourself in the corner in South Croydon, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I feel your pain about the gym. I haven't been in a gym for a long time.
Yeah.
And you met me, so you can obviously see that I haven't been in a gym for a long time. But I'm running and I'm swimming. And today a friend dropped it to me that he's getting married in a month.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I now have a month. So I've got a month. So I'm back in the back running, back swimming from tomorrow, trying to lose those few little pounds.
Now I'm not saying this to knock you, Dana.
No.
Can you do much in a month?
No.
But so why bother?
Because I've still got the dress from my sister's wedding from August that I could just squeeze in still. So, just make it a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Instead of having to buy something new. He sprung it on me now.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. I said to him, but you're already married. And he said, no.
Oh.
They've been together so long. So that was a total surprise. So
you in a month, that's, well, again, I don't want to, send your head spinning, but
no.
Does that mean that someone just, like, a guest dropped out and they had a space to fill? Because to give a month's notice, do you know what I mean? I don't want to be rude.
I probably was on the list, and this is it. Somebody on the A list has dropped out.
Yeah, okay.
I suspect somebody on the B list couldn't make it. The C list probably decided they were actually nasal hair that day, so they then went to the D list.
And they said no.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm on the reserve
then
list.
You're on the reserve list that doesn't even have a letter. Well, it's better to be on the reserve list that doesn't even have a letter than no list at all.
Exactly.
Or on the do not invite under any circumstances list.
This is it. And we haven't met 20 years, and we talk on the phone occasionally, and then we got into back on track on emails and Facebook. So it was when I got this phone call about an hour ago from an unknown number.
Uh-oh.
And I was listening to the podcast from last week time, and I'm thinking, who's this? And there he was. It was just such a shock. It was so sweet.
Yeah.
But I do feel your pain about the gym. I haven't been to a gym for ages, and I do. When you walk in and you see all these people who are pretending that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And pretending that they feel totally comfortable doing it. It is so intimidating. But the last gym I was at was great because on the running machines there were little TV screens. So I was constantly watching repeats of Top Gear and stuff like that while I was running.
We didn't have that. Right. What we have, first of all, my iPod, the headphones don't. I've got the pop-in headphones and they don't. They kept popping out because my ears. Yeah. I get sweaty ears. Do you get sweaty ears?
They keep coming out.
Sweaty ears. So they kept popping out. So I watched the telly. They were playing pop videos, and I'm quite out of touch with pop music. There were two songs, right? There was one song. Oh, what was it? There was one song. It was three ladies, two black ladies and a white lady, and they were singing a song like, "You're a liar, liar, liar." Do you know that one? You little liar, you liar, liar, liar. They were singing that. And then there was
Les Dennis.
Yeah, then there was if anyone knows these songs, 03444991,000. And then there was a great song, right? It was a boy band. And, it was, I thought, what a modern boy band song. It was about them singing collectively as one. The unity of the boy band. They found a girl that they liked.
Yeah, as they do.
I shouldn't have fallen for those eyes. Turns out she doesn't like guys. It's brilliant! I thought, isn't that modern? Isn't that modern? I shouldn't have fallen for those eyes. It turns out that she doesn't like guys.
Oh, yeah, if anyone knows who that is.
Yeah, it's a good song, man. I mean, I may have embellished the tune ever so slightly, but it was a good song. I thought it was a very modern take on dating.
But that's how I would get through the gym, listening to music, watching constant repeats of Gear on Dave. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
That's what got me through going to the gym. So so for this next month, I've got to get active again.
Hang in there, Dana. You can do it. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe I can't. But we'll have a darn good go, won't we? It was really freeing, though, to as I strode through the gym after collecting my second padlock after knackering the first one, to think, I don't think anybody's actually, no one's even looking at me. No one cares. No one cares. I'm glad I decided not to wear the Jonathan ARMS T-shirt, which I was going to wear to the gym. I'm glad I decided against that. But no one cared. Fat old, sweaty, hairy, beardy me. And I took my place on the running machine. And I did 5K. And I'm going to do 5K tomorrow, guys. And pump off a little bit. Kyle!
Oh, evening. You all right, boss?
Evening, Kyle.
Well, it's a couple of quick things. I was going to ask you about your gym membership for one.
Well, I think I've told you all you need to know, unless you have a specific question not so far covered in the lecture.
Well, I think it was specific, because I have toyed with the idea of going to the gym. However,
yes,
can you get changed privately? You don't have to stand around with, because I'm not getting my wanger out for anyone.
Well, you're not getting it out for anyone. It is a communal male changing room, but no one looked at my penis, and I I was really trying to draw attention to it for a good 20, 25 minutes.
Did you put lights around it?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
And no one looked at my wanger once. It's not like a gay sex dungeon down there.
Right.
No one cares. And also, you're old enough now. You don't need your mum to do this. Can't you do the trick where you put the towel around your waist and get changed underneath it? You can do that if you want.
Well, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. Not comfortable at all.
Why are you so insecure, Kyle?
I'm not
That is,
insecure.
well, you are, obviously. Why are you... Okay, serious question, right?
Go on.
Why are you embarrassed about getting changed in front of other men?
Do you know, it's... Oh, God, right. I think it was...
Listen to his voice! Listen to the fear in his voice! This is incredible!
I'm not afraid of you lot.
What do you mean, you lot?
No, it's a joke. It's partially a joke. No, I don't like it. I've never liked it since I was at school. However, when I finally went on a beach holiday a couple of years, probably about 4 years ago, I was amazed at that thing of when you're abroad, nobody gives a toss, do they, when you're on a beach? And I was like,
there's
okay.
I don't like the boobs out on, but I'm I don't want to be sexy or anything, but I don't like the boobs. Sexy me. I don't like the boobs out on beaches. That is just, I don't agree with that.
Oh.
I disapprove of that.
What, man boobs or female boobs?
All kinds of boobs. Just, the whole topless thing. I mean, what is that about?
So, you wouldn't go topless on a holiday then?
Well, I don't. I tend to wear a t-shirt and my swimmers.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to get skin cancer, mate.
No, well, good advice. But no, I had a serious thing for you, and it.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Go on.
We've not yet established why you are so scared of getting changed in front of other men. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to force themselves on you.
I just don't like it.
But why not? Try and think back genuinely, because I don't have a problem with it. And I had unpleasant stuff at school and cubs and all that. But I don't bother me in the slightest. Why don't you like it? How does it make you feel?
Honestly, I can't verbalise it. So I'm probably a bad cop. But I just, ever since being at middle school, I went to 3 schools. So middle school, I've always hated it. Even to now, at 42, I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
I went to middle school. I don't remember being naked in middle school.
No, because you did. Because you had sports, so they had communal showers, and I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
I don't think we had we didn't have showers in middle school.
Did you not do games?
Yeah, we did games. No, we didn't. We didn't have showers in middle school. We had showers at grammar school. I remember being terrified of it, and that fear came from cheeky little bit of sexual abuse that took place in the Cubs when we had some dodgy Cub leaders there. So that and you know that was thoroughly unpleasant what we all had to get up to, but dirty buggers. But no, that's not stayed with me.
No, it's weird. Honestly, even now, I hate it, and I will never. So I was going to ask you about being a vegetarian, but anyway, what I was going to say was even now, say that this is so embarrassing on national radio. So say that I'm out with a couple of mates, and it's like, one of us needs a wee. I always say to somebody, well, you go first. I will never go to the toilets with my mate. I won't do it. It fills me with dread. I wait for them to come out, and I say, right, I'll go back now.
Well, Carl, aren't we strange creatures, the lot of us?
Just odd habits. But can I ask you my question about your weight thing? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, no way judging you, because I've put a little bit on lately, but... so you were a vegetarian for years, weren't you?
Yes.
And now, and I'm not saying, and you've said about your meds and everything.
Yes.
But would it work if you went back to being a vegetarian? I'm not one, bizarrely, but I was just thinking it through at the weekend.
No.
Sadly.
No.
Oh.
No, it wouldn't, because I didn't really... it's funny, I stopped being a vegetarian maybe about 3 years ago, and I don't remember what I ate. But I ate terribly as a vegetarian.
Okay.
So, no, I don't think it would have any impact on me.
Oh, that idea popped into my head at the weekend.
Well, thank you, Carla. It is appreciated. Let's go to Hannah. Evening, Hannah.
Hello. I thought I'd share my story about the weight
Here we
issue.
go. Yeah.
I've always struggled with my weight since about 16-ish, and it's got to the point now where I'm having to go for bariatric surgery, or I'm on the journey for that.
Now, what is that? What is that? What is that?
Where they make your stomach into the size of the small of an egg.
Oh, blimey! But does that mean you won't be hungry anymore? Or you'll be no, you mean you get full quicker?
Yeah. Well, bit of both.
But is it not? Is it not part that won't? I'm always dubious, right? They've got these drugs. There's this drug you can get. I can't remember what it's called, right? But if you're an alcoholic, if you take this drug, if you drink, it makes you very, very ill. So if you have even if you have one beer, you'll be throwing up and puking, and it's to help alcoholics. But I always wonder how successful that kind of thing is, because alcoholism is more of a mental disease. It's a way of thinking. And I wonder if it's a way of thinking. If having your stomach shrunk will how that will be affected by your mental state.
Well, they look into all sorts. Before you go to surgery, they have to look at your mental state, everything. It's a big thing, the whole surgery.
So how are they going to change your attitude?
It's a long journey. I mean, I haven't. It probably won't happen for another 6 months yet.
Right.
You know, I have. There's the mental health team side of it, but it is a mental. You know, you have to think differently towards food. You know, I can't exercise properly because I have fibromyalgia. So going to the gym is difficult. So the only thing that helps me with exercise is swimming, because you know. It lifts your body up.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd share what my situation is, because you know that's the only thing that's going to help me.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope it works out, Hannah. I hope it works out. Yeah, thank you, Hannah. I can't imagine what that would be like to have to go and have the old surgery and all of that stuff. 0344 499 1000. But, you know, 2 months ago I was struggling to get out of bed. Last week I was struggling to get out of bed. So to go to the gym, and this morning I was struggling to get out of bed. I didn't wake up. I woke up about 9:30. These mirtazapine aids enough make you sleep. I woke up about 9:30. I thought, I'll just lie in bed for a bit. And suddenly it was like 12:30. And it was the most torrential rain I've ever heard. Sounded like that. Sounded like a man going. And I watched a couple of Rick and Mortys in bed, and I'm surprised I managed to get downstairs into my car and go to the gym, man. I tell you now, and you know. I'll grass myself up a bit. I suspect I'll be bored of the gym in a week to 10 days, and I'll be going, well, that thing didn't work. What next? But you never know. It's never taken hold before, but maybe it will take hold this time. 0344 499 1000. James and Michael, stay there. I'll come to you after the news so you have a fair crack of the whip. Now is an excellent time to remind you, dear listener, of course, you can get podcasts of the show. We put a best of out every day, and if we have a guest, we normally put the guest out as a separate podcast as well. One night the other week we had 3 shows. We had who did we have? We had we had Matt Haig, and we had Dennis LeCorrier, and we had a best of all in one show. So if you go to Pocket Cast or iTunes or any of those places and type in Iain Lee Talk Radio, it'll pop up and you can subscribe to it and you can listen. And hello if you're listening on the podcast, guys. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
We are Talk.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
Talk Radio.
Don't forget, you can call in about absolutely anything you want. We're talking about weight and gyms, but you can phone in literally about anything you want. 0344 499 1000. It's coming up to 11 o'clock. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I haven't heard that for years. There we go. The B-side of that is... can I please play the beginning of the B-side of that? But we're going to press the dump button. So you'll get it on Periscope, but you won't get it on the radio. But it's childish. Okay, so it sounds the same so far. It's childish but fun. Ready, Periscopers? Here we go. Do we dump that? Childish, but fun, isn't it? Good evening, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio. This is a late night phoning show, unlike any other late night phoning show. And trust me, I've listened to all of them. Reel back on that a little bit. I've listened to a lot of them, and they're all as tedious as hell. And some of them are presented by people who have brilliance in their arsenal of weapons, but choose, for whatever reason, to sheathe their brilliance and instead bring out their stubby knife. I know why. It's because the bosses of these radio stations are terrified of anybody doing something a little bit different. So that's why if you listen to, the brilliant people on LBC and BBC London and some other stations, it's really dull radio. It's really dull radio. Oh, sure, it gets millions of, listeners. Well, actually, it doesn't. We get more than the BBC London. Apart from on a Friday, which is strange. We get more than BBC London. But LBC does. And it's that thing, isn't it, of fear sells and hatred sells and pointing the fingers at other people and saying, ugh, Look at them. It sells. And it will be so easy. You know, our figures on this show are going up and up and up, and that's brilliant. Thank you. It's a steady increase. I could do a massive quantum leap in listeners if we did a phone-in about, look at them. Actually, it's not a bad phone-in topic. But what's the point? A, everybody else is doing it, so why should we? And B, isn't it nice to have a space on the radio, it's DAB, it's not proper radio, but you know what I mean. A space on the radio that is supportive and is creative and is celebratory. And that doesn't mean it's necessarily lightweight. It doesn't mean we're all snowflakes, although we probably are. I don't actually have a problem with being a snowflake at all. I think it's quite a nice thing to be. It means we're all unique and precious. But isn't it nice to have somewhere that isn't all just kind of nasty and mean? And I know my default setting is to be nasty and mean. And I'm really trying, as I grow both in years and in wisdom and in spirituality, I'm really trying to make that part of me, the sneering part of me, less and less and less. And it's getting there. I'm a work in progress. It's a marathon, not a sprint, guys. And I'm getting there. So occasionally we get a little bit sneery and a little bit mean, but we tend to stay away from it. I'm just flicking through Digital Spy, which is a forum where people go and talk about all kinds of showbiz things, and there's a section in there about radio. And there's a really interesting thread on there. What's it called? Will children listen to radio ever again? Started by someone called Kipper the Cat. If I ruled the internet, I'd make it that everyone had to use their real names when posting on forums. I do. I use, whenever I'm posting on a forum, real name, guys, and a picture of me if I can be bothered, or work out how to use the upload thing. Because if I'm going to say something, you might as well know it's me as opposed to, Doctor Who 69 or whatever. I don't know. Where has it gone? Will children listen to radio ever again? And I kind of think that's... And they've got some stats on there that show that fewer under 15s are listening to radio than ever before. Well, I think that they do. I did a show last night in St Albans. If you're typing on my screen, I can't see it. You made the typing bobbing with... Oh, you're on Facebook. Okay, that's fine. I did a show last night in St Albans, and it went really, really well. Thank you, everyone who came. Couldn't do it for a living. It's too stressful. For 2 days before, I hate myself. The 28 minutes before lasted for 2 hours, if that makes sense. But it went really, really well, and I really enjoyed it. And the show was just under 2 hours, one of the longest I've done. I think it's the second or third longest I've done. And I could have done a bit more, but I was, I thought people might get bored. So anyway, and afterwards, I met a young lady called Fred and her daughter called Lana and her son, whose name escapes me, right? And Lana, I think, was 14, very tall 14-year-old, 14, right? And she listens to this rubbish. So hello, love. They're going to come in one night, because I said they could come in and sit and watch it. And then I never say that, but they were so delightful. I said, you can come and sit and watch the show if you want. It's boring. Because that has to be a work experience. I didn't have a clue who they should get in touch with. So I said, you can come in and sit and watch the show one night, but it's dull. But Lana's 14 and she listens. I think that's her name. Apologies if I got it wrong. She listens to the show and has been listening for a long time. And her brother, whose name escapes me, he's 17 now, and he's been listening to me for 10 years. He discovered me on LBC when he was 7. Flipping it. And when he told me that, I was thinking, oh, God, that was actually quite a rude show. And I think that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If you're a young person listening to this under the cover of night, or maybe you've downloaded the podcast to listen on the bus on the way to school, but more so if you're listening and it's late at night and you've got... a headphone, you've got your headphones in, or you've got me down low so you don't wake your parents. Well done, you. Well done, you. Some radio presenters I've worked with get very sniffy about children and young people. listening to their radio shows. They get really sniffy about it. And I've never got that because I was a geeky 13-year-old that discovered my thing on the radio, and I held on to it, and it was really exciting that I found my thing. I don't know, Kath was the same. So I don't get sniffy about kids listening or young people listening. I love it. And the fact that a guy was listening to me when he was 7 and he's listening to me 10 years later and he's listened to all the stations I've been on, beautiful. Beautiful. I'll be working for him one day. That's probably what will happen. He'll end up being my boss. Will children listen to the radio ever again? Yes. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. I think the problem is, right, A, there's too much choice, which, you know, it sounds like a great thing, but with choice comes misery, because there's too much choice. I remember when I bought an internet radio. It's a beautiful black internet radio, and it says over 10,000 stations worldwide. It was too much choice. It was too much choice. We listened to a bit of Greek radio, and I found a Beatles station that just played Beatles songs and cover versions of Beatles songs, and that was it. There was too much choice. Whereas, when I was a kid, you had the medium wave, the FM, and the shortwave AM. You could that was it. You had those three things. And there was only, you could scroll one way, then you'd flick to the AM, and you'd scroll back, and that was it. So there's too much choice, and there's so much blandness. Sweet Lord. Most music stations are bland as hell. I was never a fan of John Peel. I didn't like the music. You know, I'm kind of a very straight, white pop kind of guy. So I didn't like the music. But there is nowhere really that you can go. That maybe they've got a show hidden away on Six Music. Perhaps they have, actually. But there's no one on a mainstream station playing weird, you know, mountain yak music, whatever. There's none of that going on that kids can kind of dig into. And there's not really, in this country, any speech radio that's kind of out of the norm. Well, there are a few exceptions now. I will give you John Holmes, and I modestly present myself as a case in point. And boy, oh boy, isn't it great to hear James Whale back on the radio? You know, just someone who just says whatever he thinks. And it's beautiful. I disagree with James on most things. But what a joy that he's on the radio again, doing what he does best. What am I saying? I've got no flipping idea. I've just sat and chatted for 15 minutes about absolutely anything. That's how this show works. That's how this show works, and that's what sets it apart from everything else that is on the radio at the moment. You are invited to take part. 0344 499 1000. We've got James, then we've got Michael, then we've got Nigel. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's go to James. Evening, James.
Evening, Iain. You're on very good form this evening.
Thank you very much, sir. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, we spoke last week about, is he Yusuf or is he Cat Stevens?
Oh, yes. Well, he's everything and nothing to everybody and nobody.
Yes, so the show was last night, so I was going to give you a call to let you know how it went.
Oh, you went to the Cat Stevens show that I could not go to because I booked tickets when I was working like I did. Was it good?
The good news is it was good.
Oh. But the bad
news is it got really weird at the end. It was fantastic, kind of 2/3 of the show.
Matthew and Son, Matthew and Son, Father and Son, Father and Son, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, morning has broken like the first morning. morning. Peace train, holy roller, ride on the peace train. My lady d'Abanville, brum bum. I don't like that one.
Well, you're pretty much up to where it got weird.
Okay.
So the idea was, it was the story of his life through his music.
Uh-oh.
It was kind of started off at the beginning and just kind of went along. So all the hits when he was Cat Stevens.
Yeah. And then he got all...
Brilliant.
And then he did, as my mum described it, did he go all weird?
He did, and this was the weird part. Have you seen the film Zootropolis?
Zulu.
Zootopia?
Zootropolis, yes, it's the cartoon film, which has just been voted the best children's film of last year, which is wrong, or this year, which is wrong. It's a terrible film, but yes.
Well, if you ask Cat Stevens, he would say it is the best film of all time, because he came on stage with a toy doll from Zootopia,
yes,
and was quoting it as the most inspirational thing he'd ever seen. It was really random.
Hang on, that wouldn't necessarily ruin a gig, though, just him saying that he liked a film.
Well, no, it wasn't in keeping with his kind of life story, so it was kind of telling his life, and this seemed to have, of all the things he'd done in his life, to be the most signidigant thing. So
was that he'd been to see Zootropolis. I thought you were going to say the last third was all, how do we say, Islamic.
No, it was a lot of his new stuff, so... One always prefers the greatest hits.
Yeah, his last couple of albums, though, have been excellent. There's no denying it. They have been really, really good records.
I'm not so familiar with the new stuff, so to me, that combined with the quoting a Disney thing, kind of to the edge.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, Jack. I am intrigued why... it's an all right film, and I'm in the minority by saying I didn't like it, because a lot of people liked it. But,
okay.
How much of the show was taken up by Cat Stevens talking about Zootropolis?
Well, percentage-wise, very little.
Okay.
But it was just such a kind of gear change from everything else, because he was telling his life story, telling us the stories behind the music and everything else. And then, it kind of threw me. Maybe it was just me, but everyone...
Is the voice still good? Has he still got the voice?
Oh, it was beautiful, and the fact that it was in such a small venue as well was...
Does he still have the same guitarist, Alan somebody?
Yes, he did. He also had a couple of guests come and do bits. I can't remember the names, but yeah, it was a really good show, apart from the final third, where I thought it would be anyway.
Get the new albums, because they're all right, but I understand why that would... here's a question, right, and I've asked this question before, and it might be offensive. Tough. Right, he's half Greek,
yes,
half Swedish. Right? I think his dad's Greek and his mum's Swedish, I think.
He grew up in London, though. So
grew up in London? Yeah. Grew up just around the corner from that theatre it was in, actually. There's like a triangle. And his dad used to own I guess it was a Greek restaurant. I don't think it was a Swedish. I think it was a Greek restaurant, and he used to live there. And in the 60s, he's like the chameleon of pop, right? In the 60s, he was a very handsome, white... looked English, whatever that means, right? A slightly lazy term. Pop star, right?
Yeah, but I know you mean.
In the 70s, he looked like a Greek lion with that long beard, that long, thick black hair, that slight tanned look. He looked like a lion, Greek lion, right?
Not Greeky lion, though.
Not Greeky lion. Oh, do you remember him? Greeky lion was a terrible caller we used to get. He'd phone up and play his awful reggae down the front. God. Anyway. Now, he looks Pakistani.
Well, the lighting was quite good, so it didn't show up.
The lighting was quite good. But do you know what I mean? His hair and his beard and his skin colour, he looks Pakistani.
He was glowing, though. He looks good for his age. I'll give him that.
Oh, he looks amazing for his age. You know, it's weird. I nearly wrote a book on Cat Stevens, but I was too busy, because I got high, to quote the Afro Man. And his story is fascinating. Because in the 60s, he was like a pop star, right? Doing pop hits, right? And then he got tuberculosis, I think. And back in the day, when people got tuberculosis, they would get sent to a sanatorium. So he went and lived in a hospital by the sea for 2 years, right? And he got dropped by his record label and his manager, and they all said, well, 2 years is a lifetime in pop, Cat. It ain't happening. Good luck with that. And when he came out, he'd written all these kind of introspective, kind of the hits that we know him for, these sort of singer-songwriter, tortured James Taylor type songs. And he had another massive career. And then from the mid-70s onwards, he was lost. He was like spiritually lost. And he tried everything. He tried Christianity, he tried Greek Orthodox, he did a terrible, terrible album, one of the later ones when he'd run out of ideas. I can't remember what it's called, but the subheading is a story of numbers, and it was him, he was experimenting with numerology, right? And then he was swimming out in Malibu one day, and he was drowning. He was about a mile out to sea, and he was drowning, and he said he was desperate, right? And he was going down, and then he came up, and then he'd be washed under the water, and then he came back up, and he kind of said with like one of his last breaths, God, if you save me, I will dedicate my life to you, right? Whoosh, wave comes and sweeps him onto the beach. This is how he tells the story. It's probably, a wave comes and sweeps him onto the beach, right? And he gets rescued. People come and rescue him, and he's recuperating in a hospital. And he finds a copy of the Quran next to him. And that's how they got our pop singer. That's how they got him. No, I think his brother had given him a copy of the Quran like the week before or something, and he started reading it. And that's when he retired at the peak of his fame, 1979, huge star. And he went, yeah, I'm a Muslim now, and I'm not allowed to play guitar, so thanks a lot, bye! And that was it. That was it. He disappeared for decades. Decades. Also, he supported the fatwa against Salman Rushdie. Now that's weird, isn't it, James? Now you know he supported the call to kill Salman Rushdie. How do you feel about the concert now, James?
Well, that's what I mean. That in keeping with someone who loves a kind of cuddly Disney film, he's obviously got some.
You should have said something, James. You should have stood up when he started talking about Zootropolis. You should have got on your seat and said, "Oi, what about Salman? Yeah, have that." Did you ever consider doing that, James?
I didn't, because I didn't even have the mineral, shall we say, to bring one of those masks I was going to do with your face on it. So
well, James, never mind. Listen, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the concert. He's brilliant, Cat Stevens. He is absolutely brilliant. Love him. Love him, love him. But yeah, he supported. There's a really interesting clip of him calling for the death of Salman Rushdie on YouTube. It's weird, really weird. I wonder what his views on that are now. If I met him, I'd never ask him. I'd be too scared. Michael.
Brilliant. How are you, Ian? Love your show. It's great.
Thank you,
I rang in last week. I was talking about dating agencies, remember?
Oh, yes, you wanted to some advice on dating online. Yeah. Have you dipped your wick, so to speak?
No, not yet. I've had a think about it, and I have looked around on the internet, like you said, and there's a couple of sites on there that I'm interested in. So I may give it a go. But I did actually ring up about gyms, because I know you've been talking about that tonight. And I go to the same gym, well, not the same one you go to, but I go to the one that you mentioned earlier on.
Yeah. Well, the Pure Gym is the one I've gone through, but there are several. I looked online. There are several where you can sign up for £20 a month, and there's no contract. You can bail out any time. Absolutely wonderful development.
Well, that's I go to actually in my local area.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Because I've actually been going. I didn't say this before, but I've actually been going to gyms for about 12 years now.
Hey, you must be tired.
It's something I quite enjoy doing. I go with my brother and a friend of mine, so there's three of it together. Like three people, we're all fit together. So I go about 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't do competitions or whatever, like bodybuilding competitions, because I don't have the need to do that. I just go there, keep fit, build a bit of muscle, and I quite enjoy it. And I just want to give you a couple of tips when you do go to the gym.
Yes, please do.
Number one, when you when you go to the gym, right, I recommend that you should take your own 2-litre bottle of water because you don't want to be using the water fountains because people sit there and spit in the water.
I'm always carrying around. I've got a litre bottle of water at the moment, which I'm carrying around and I'm filling it up as well. So yes, thank you. Good advice.
Well, I always put mine in the fridge before I go and if I some cool and I take it. Number 2. If you're going to be using the free weights, such as dumbbells and barbells, get yourself a pair of gym gloves for a couple of quid because it'll save you from getting calluses on your fingers.
In case I get hand aids or something.
Well, if you're using the weight and that and you want to increase the weight and you're lifting them,
right.
The bars themselves that can rub against your skin and your fingers and it gets all rough and that.
Yes.
So I recommend you should get a pair of gloves for that, a pair of gym gloves.
Okay.
Also get a gym belt as well. That's normally quite handy.
Get a what?
A gym belt.
A gym belt? What, the thing that the world's strongest man, what's his name, Jeff Capes used to wear to hold in his fat gut?
Well, the reason why I use a gym belt all the time because obviously I'm doing like military press with a barbell, which is like lifting the barbell over my head. Doing so many repetitions, and it saves you from bending your back, and it's a bit more safer than doing it without. Because
I am going to get Michael. Do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to totally cane this gym. I am going to get so fit. Like, I'm going to get fit, stamina fit. I'm also going to get fit, sexy fit. I am going to buff up like nobody's business. My third act, right? The last 20, 30 years of my life, which I'm in now, I've accepted it. The last 30 years of my life, I'm going to be buff as F. And the F stands for... You know what? I'm going to be so muscular. I'm going to have an 8-pack. I believe you can get now. I'm going to my man boobs are going to become muscular pecs. My arms are going to be muscular. My wrists are going to be muscular. My fingers are going to be muscular. My dick is going to be muscular.
Fabulous. I'm sure.
I'm doing it, Michael. I'm going for it. And your talk is inspiring me.
Yeah. Oh, take a protein shake as well afterwards. Get yourself a protein shake.
What do they do?
What, the protein shake?
Yeah.
Well, I always take one before I go to the gym because obviously it helps you to build muscle when you're doing weights, that with the free weights. I use machine weights.
Does it actually help you do stuff?
Well, it does actually bring on muscle growth, when you take... I eat healthy as well, by the way, you know what I mean? I eat a lot of prawns and chicken and salmon and that kind of stuff. My diet is quite boring for most people. I mean, my kid... I've got a daughter and she won't eat half the things I eat because she said it's too... the stuff I eat is too clean and that,
clean.
She likes to eat...
dirty food.
Stuff out of packets and stuff.
Dirty girl, yes.
Yeah. I normally eat like a lot of chicken and turkey and... salmon fillets and fish, white
I
fish.
love it. I love it. I'm coming around to yours for lunch, Michael. He's making it sound delicious.
You should come out with us one day and do a training session with us because we'll put you through.
We can pump off together. That's not weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael, go on. Go on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, if you go to the gym, right, get yourself a gym buddy, a mate who you can actually train with, because it's much better. Because if you go to the gym on your own, it's difficult to motivate yourself. And if it's two of you working together,
I'm going to have guns,
doing different exercises and stuff. It always helps.
Guns.
So that's another good point you could
Michael,
bear in mind.
Thank you very much for that, mate. I'm going to take all of that advice on board. Probably ignore it if I'm honest, but I'm taking it all on board. I'm going to do it. You watch this space, guys. I am going to get so muscular, so buff-killer. I'm going to be fit, as in stamina. I'm going to be fit, as in he's fit. The last act of my life, the last 30 years, which I'm in the last 30 years of my life. I'm cool with that, guys. I've accepted death. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, when I meet my maker, I'm going to look well hot. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Jerry.
So you're going to the gym?
I haven't got much time to talk to you, Jerry. I'm busy getting buff.
You go in the gym, I can give you some tips. I used to go to the gym every day.
Well, look what happened to you.
Yeah, I got buff.
What did you do wrong?
I went to the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim didn't fix it for me, you fixed me.
Jim knackered it for me and a lot of other people. Let's not make jokes about it. Jerry, give me some gym tips.
Want a 6-pack?
Yes.
Best thing to do, crunchies.
Yeah, eat crunchies?
Eat crunchies with a weight on your chest.
Eat crunchies with a weight on my chest. Okay, I can do that, yeah. I like them.
Pull downs.
Pull downs?
Pull downs, not your trousers.
Yes.
They're good.
Yep.
Do loads of aerobic exercise. I reckon you ought to do that outside, though. Taking the
No,
scenery.
the thing is, this is the thing, right? Because I realised I paid £20 today, plus £10 joining fee, plus £4.20 for one padlock, then another £4.20 when I broke the first padlock. Just basically to run, which I could have done outside. But. I don't run outside. I started doing these couch to 5K apps, and it just wasn't. It wasn't motivating me. Whereas if I go to the gym and run on the treadmill and I can see you have run this far, you have run for this long, and you can increase the speed and decrease the speed and you can check your heart rate, all of this stuff. That I kind of need that for it to work for me.
Make sure the machines are working all the time because they break down. And cheap gyms don't fix them.
Well, the machine I was on, I think it was working. It was certainly moving at a very, very fast rate. At one point, I was running at 9 kilometres an hour. That's fast. That's about... No, not on a bike. I was running. That's about...
Hey, Nigel with you.
Here's... Right. Don't. He's on the line. You know, right... That's the pace I was running at. Because it came on. It came on and I was going, oh, it fits. It's like when, you know when you're driving the car, you're in a car, and the windscreen wipers go in time with the beat that someone's walking past the car. Do you ever get that? I love it. Well, Beat It came on. Beat It came on, right? And I'm running and I thought, oh!
Nigel likes to beat it.
There you go. I was running at that pace. Flipping heck, I nearly had a hearty. I nearly had a Russell.
Guess who's coming to save Crew?
Who's coming to save Crew?
Cannon and Ball. We're doomed.
Oh, no. I like Cannon and Ball. I think they're funny.
Are they funny?
I think they're funny. You look at some of the old stuff they did. I think Cannon and Ball are brilliant.
Little and Large still alive.
Who?
Little and Large, remember them?
Yeah, they are still alive. They don't talk and they haven't spoken for a long, long time. They fell out. Oh. And Sid Little, became a born-again Christian, as did Cannon and Ball. Cannon and Ball, I believe, one of them, I think they might have had affairs with each other's wives, and they fell out, and then they became born-again Christians. And Sid Little is a born-again Christian, and him and Eddie, certainly when I was next to Eddie on The Weakest Link, I was chatting to Eddie. I said, Eddie, do you ever do anything with Sid? He said, no, we fell out years ago. We haven't spoken for ages. But Sid Little will do born-again Christian conventions where he'll talk about showbiz, sing a couple of songs, and then talk about Jesus Christ.
Does he go on these programmes on dodgy satellite channels?
Yeah.
Asking for money?
Yeah. I like them.
Yeah.
I like the Nigerian ones.
Can you buy my book? It's been autographed.
Well, the thing is, I spend a lot of money on autographed tat, so...
I've got Ian Brown's autograph.
Whose?
Ian Brown, not the Stone Roses. His stepdad painted his house.
Your stepdad went to his house?
Decorated his house.
and just asked for an autograph for payment?
Yeah, I got it. Much love.
Oh, man alive.
He's a nice man.
Man alive.
Don't forget, take towels to the gym as well, because those people sweat over the equipment.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot that. I need to take a towel, and you're absolutely right. I need to get some new towels.
Watch out for the posers.
Yeah, well, Jerry, no, mate. I'm going to be hanging out with the posers probably in about 3.5 weeks when I buff up.
I'll do some weights in my wheelchair.
Jerry, you can be my pump-off partner. Is that what it's called? A muscle buddy. That sounds a bit gay.
Sure.
All right. Nice one, Jerry. Thank you, mate. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Lots of you commenting that I sound full of vim and vigour. It's because I've been pumping off all day. It works. If you work it, so work it, you're worth it. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Just gonna... Hang on a minute. I need to set my stopwatch, which is tricky because the... Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. There we go. My button's gone. There we go. Right, let's start the clock now. Nigel!
Good evening, Iain.
Good evening, Nigel.
How are you?
Good, thank you. What have you got for us this
You
evening?
sound okay tonight.
Thank you.
You're buffed up tonight.
I'm buffed up. I'm like you. I've been
You've
learning.
seen mine, haven't you? My videos.
I've deliberately not watched them. No.
Oh, but they're not too bad.
No.
People say I'm quite big, so I'm not so fussy.
I find them creepy.
But are you going to seriously do that? What you said?
Yeah.
Seriously do what you said.
What did I say?
You know, buff yourself up. And
Yeah.
get everything toned up.
Yep. I'm going to do it. I'm there.
You've not done it before?
No.
I thought you went to a gym before.
I went to the gym, but I wasn't really committed, Nigel. Now I'm
No,
committed.
you just did little bits and bobs. I suppose.
Little bits and bobs. Yeah. Now I'm committed. I'm going to get proper buff.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember Monica Rose with Monica Rose at the show at Opportunity Knocks?
No.
Oh, was that before your time? With
Yes.
Opportunity. You must have heard of it though.
Yes.
With Huey Green, wasn't it?
Yes.
There must be some of it on. I was thinking it must be on YouTube.
Probably.
Somewhere, but I haven't searched for it yet. But I did. Monica Rose, who she did some shows in Maidstone at the Hazlitt Theatre.
Monica Rose did some shows in Maidstone.
Yeah, she put some shows on, and I was a drummer in the pits with a band. This was like 30 years ago now.
Oh, truth.
And I got to meet her because she was quite famous, and she did singing and dancing with dancing girls, and I like to play with the dancing girls.
Yep. You had to play with whom?
I played with a band to play for a show with dancing girls, and Monica Rose was in it as well. And Huey Green sent me a letter once asking me to go into...
Stop going round to his house.
to go into Opportunity Knocks, but I didn't get on there because there had so many people at the time trying to get on there, and it's very difficult to get. But at least I got to do the shows drumming in Maidstone to these dancing girls.
Fantastic. That's certainly something to put on the old CD.
I was wondering if I can do a new song. Could we do a new song for iTunes sometime? Is it worth doing a single?
I have split up the band.
Well, you said before, but there's always new things we could do.
Well, I have split up the band.
You said last time, when I spoke to you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. It was good while it lasted.
It was great while it lasted.
Fun,
good.
I like the tune. I like the songs.
Why are you so keen to do another song?
Well, what about somebody different? Would you like one about yourself for the radio?
No.
No, you don't want that because people hear you all the time, I suppose.
People might talk.
Is James Wells on tomorrow night, is he? I heard. You said they said that James Wells on tomorrow night.
He might be, yes.
But I didn't know he was on your show because he usually does another station in my area, Kent area.
No, he's left that now.
Is he not doing that as well?
No.
Oh, not on Saturday. Oh, blimey. Good job I didn't cycle up there and try and get on there then.
Yeah.
But would you mind me ringing in tomorrow, do you think?
He would be over the moon, Nigel.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. He does like me to call him rather than go round to the studio.
Yes.
Hello to Hilary Duff, who might be listening, because I sent her a message before I came on yet. It was
Hilary Duff.
Disney star.
Hilary Duff is the new one, is she?
Well, she's a new Disney star, I like. Well, she's grown up now. She's about 28 now.
Well, she's too old for you, is she?
No. She's got 2 children.
Oh, well.
She's about the only Disney girl that has got children.
Yeah.
The other ones are sort of, still single, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like Miley Cyrus and Lindsay Lohan's still single, I think.
Yeah.
Carry on. Can I sing you a song tonight?
Why the hell not?
I was going to sing you Barry Manilow's I Write the Songs, maybe just half of it or something, just to finish off the show, my being on the show.
Okay.
So I'll start when I... It's a bit a cappella because I haven't got a backing.
Okay.
Right. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs, Now music makes you dance and it gives your spirit a chance to write some rock and roll so you can move.
Fair play. He didn't mention the money, which he's been mentioning on Facebook to me a lot over the last few days. That was quite possibly the last call Nigel's ever going to make to this show. Now he knows that James Whale's on. Enjoy it, Ed. Enjoy it. 03444991000. Steve.
Hi, Ian. Good evening. First-time listener, first-time caller tonight.
Wow, first-time listener?
Yeah.
Wowzers. What? That's unusual to have those two things combined.
Well, I'm to be honest, I'm normally in bed around about this time of the evening, but
beautiful.
Thought I'd turn the radio on and
How
see.
did you how did you stumble across Talk Radio? Because it's not the easiest radio station to find.
Oh, I think I just saw a few people retweet your Periscope link.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm glad. Well, you're very welcome. I'm here every Monday to Friday, 10 till 1, and we just sit here and. Well, it doesn't get any better than this, unfortunately. But never mind.
Well, I heard you mention earlier about a forum discussion about children listening to radio.
Yeah, there seems to be some debate as to whether children are listening to the radio anymore, and I like to think that they are because, it's the best form of communication.
I mean, I completely agree. And I mean, when I first remember listening to my local radio station when I was growing up, and listening in my early teens to a commercial radio station in Kent, where I grew up. And one thing I used to love was all of the local references. You know, at 7 o'clock in the evening or 8 o'clock in the evening, they were talking about events happening in the local area. It's such a great way to learn about your community as well. And you know, every time I visit Kent now, it's almost quite sad because there is a station still on that frequency, but it's not the same station. And in fact, you get the impression that it's not really a local station anymore.
Are you in the business, Steve? Are you what we would call a jock?
I'm not, no.
Okay, because you've kind of got that sort of radio voice.
That's very kind. But yeah, I just wanted to hear your opinion on that. Do you think local radio is changing now?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think local radio is important. I don't think there's such a thing as commercial local radio anymore, unfortunately, because it's all owned by big, by Globotech and huge companies. And BBC Local Radio, there's some excellent stuff on it. I used to work with a guy called JVS, who I think is brilliant. And there's Toby Foster, and there's Adrian Goldberg, and there's some brilliant people on there. There's Caroline Martin, who I think is wonderful. But the majority of people are Richard Spendloves. And by that, I mean sanctimonious, right-wing old men who've been in the same job for 25 years, who know their job is completely safe, so they don't bother to put any effort into it.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, in the last kind of 30 minutes that I've tuned in, can I just say I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to your show. I'm certainly going to make it more of a point to tune in, maybe a little bit earlier than 11 p.m.
Well, we start at 10, Steve, so come and grab the first hour.
I will do. All right, cheers, Ian.
Nice one, Steve. Thank you for calling. I appreciate that. I'm slightly confused, but I appreciate that. I don't think there is. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think there are any local commercial radio stations. They're all Hearts. And Heart, of course, is owned by Globotech or whatever company it is. It doesn't really matter. There's only 3 companies that own all these big stations. And I started on a station called FM 103.3 Horizon, Milton Keynes FM. And it was part of a network, but it was like a proper independent, that's the wrong word, sorry, I contradicted myself. It was part of a network, but it was a proper local radio station. And some of it was a bit cheesy and some of it was a bit rubbish, but there was some good stuff on there. And that's all gone now. It's all owned by Jamie Theakston, I think. I think he owns it. And BBC Local Radio, for the most part, is turgid, old dross. Nearly swore then. I mean, turgid. Partly because the bosses are scared, partly because the presenters are fat, lazy, stuck in their ways, boring people that wouldn't know how to do anything adventurous if it came up and bit them on the arse. But a lot of it's just because the bosses are scared of doing something a little bit different, and I think it's a real shame. Genuinely, I think radio's in a pretty pony state in this country at the moment. I really do. And I'll get the sack from here at some point. I normally last about 3.5, 4 years. So I won't be here forever, guys. Get used to it. That's just not how it works. Faraz!
Yes, what's going on, Ian?
Yes, Faraz!
What have you been up to? How's your day been?
Gym. I've been pumping off at the gym, mate.
Oh, is it? Nice one, man.
I joined the gym.
One.
I've decided I'm going to get buff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've decided I'm going to get into boxing, man.
Oh, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to destroy you.
Hey, come, let's do this.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. I will destroy you.
Hey, come, let's do it.
Can we do...
Last week you sacked me, so now you got to destroy me as well.
Can we do MMA? I want to do MMA.
Oh, you want to do MMA? Don't worry, I've got some jiu-jitsu.
No, MDM. No, I want to do some mixed martial arts, man. But you do your jiu-jitsu. So what's your...
Be careful, because I roll like McGregor, so you got to be careful.
What's your weapon of choice? Fists or feet?
Nah, but a little bit of both.
Okay, fine. You can use your limbs as weapons. And you've locked that in now. You can't change it. I'm using my nunchucks. So...
Yeah, come. That's fine.
Totally MMA.
Huh? So now I've got some Krav Maga as well. And then Krav Maga, we get taught to, fight people with weapons and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah. What's that? Faraz, hang on a minute, man. What's that behind you? Have it!
Nothing.
Boom! Yeah, you looked though, and in that time you looked. I've scratched your eyes out. I've broken your
shadow
neck.
boxing you? You're trying to shadow box me now, yeah?
Oh, no, man, I'm destroying you. I'm using
you're
like
shadow
proper.
boxing, mate.
I'm doing Jeet Kune Do, mate. Jeet Kune Do.
You seem scared. You seem scared already.
Scared of what?
Come on,
I've just ripped an eye out and broken your neck. Fair play. You're still standing.
You seem scared. That's all radio talk.
You look behind you. The first rule of MMA is when they. Hey, Faraz, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, your shoelaces undone? Boom! I just need you in the nose, dude. See? Broken your nose.
Technical one. Technical knockout.
Hey, Faraz, seriously, come here, man. You got something on your shirt. Boom! I've just given you an uppercut because you looked down. You're a sucker, man. What is this? This isn't even... my boys could beat you, and they're rubbish. They're kids. They could beat you.
Yeah.
You're a pussy, Faraz.
I think I need to train a bit harder, Ian, because you seem like a big boy. You're a big boy, innit? Like
I'm a very big boy, Faraz.
Yeah, you seem.
No?
You seem like one.
I'm a big boy, Faraz.
But are you actually into boxing, though, Ian?
Yeah, I'm into kicking your ass, mate.
That's it. Is that how sour you are, Ian? You just want to kick my ass and no one else's?
I want to destroy you. I'm going to make it my life's work to destroy you, Faraz. Nobody else. You.
Only because I've got a better beard than you.
I'm going to... beard smeared, mate. I am going to destroy you, baby. You're going to be begging, please, Mr. Lee, don't hit me anymore. As I'm pound him.
Wow. You won the belt already. You won the belt just by talking. You won the
man. Thank you. I appreciate that. That proves to me that you're a coward, and that is great. And I accept that. It's 1-0 to me.
No, because last week you attacked me already when it came to the whole business talking, and I only had 23 views and stuff, so I lost for the second time.
Yeah. Well, listen,
it's not really looking too good.
The hat. I've got to be honest. I like your hats.
Thank you. Did you have a look?
No. But I saw the hat that you were wearing on Periscope.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I enjoyed kicking yo ass. How's business? Seriously, we've got a minute. How's business going? Because for those who don't know, Faraz called up last week and where do you design these clothes or do you just import them or something?
Yeah. So, do you want me to take you to through the story a little bit?
You got a minute? Can you do it in 60 seconds?
I've got a minute. Okay, so I was in my final year of uni, so I studied marketing, and I had this concept in my head, which is risk is my currency.
Risk is what? Not a pregnancy?
Risk is my currency.
All right. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
So in Arabic, rizq stands for livelihood.
Yeah.
And I've combined the Arabic word rizq with the English risk for taking a risk.
Yeah.
So in life, we all take our risks for our livelihood. So you, for example, you took a risk for your passion to go into radio.
Totally, yeah.
And you did this for your livelihood. So that's your currency. So not necessarily the pound or the dollars, but it's your risk and your microphone and the team behind you.
I like it.
You guys form your own sort of currency. So that started with like 12 T-shirts, just all black plain T-shirts, just to convey a message.
You've got 10 seconds. I tell you what,
so the clothing is a physical embodiment of the message, and that's just what I'm trying to do. And slowly it's been growing.
Listen, next time you come on, listen, I've got to go, because next time you come on, we'll have a longer chat. Just give out the website quickly before I cut you off.
Riskclothing.com. That's RIZKclothing.com.
Nice one, man. We'll speak again.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A radio star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio. Talk Radio.
Rashid, Russ, you'll be coming up next. 03444 999 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
As captain of this band of merry sailors, I'm a black mark, I'm a failure, but before you watch me drown, I'm relinquishing command for something I don't understand. This man's about to turn his whole life upside down. I set a course for a new shore. It looked the same as the one before, and I forgot what I'd been sailing for, and why I thought this time would be different. I do most of this by feeling, let go of the wheel. The constellations do the navigation on their own. Whilst yearning for adventure, dreading censure and absentia, I would rather be at sea than be alone. I set a course for a new shore. It looked the same as the one before, and I forgot what I'd been sailing for, and why I thought this time would be different. Off the charts we drew, they said there wasn't anything but fairy tales. I showed them it was you, I told them you were everything a fairy tale could be. The boat sails by. The shore remains, and so do I. I swear this time will be different. I settled here on a new shore. My lips were blue and my legs were sore, and I forget if I was pushed or I jumped overboard. After all this time, what's the difference?
That's a song, isn't it? Stephen Page. He's in my head because he just emailed me. I might be releasing a record, a Stephen Page single for Record Store Day on my record label. Imagine that! How cool is that? So me and my friend Glenn started this silly little record label so that we could release one record, this Mickey Dolenz record, and it took off, and now we release like loads of CDs and records. And Stephen Page might well be our first non-Monkeys-related release. So he might be our first record store day release. It's tight. We got to get the tracks and the cover to the pressing plant by the middle of December, and we ain't got nothing yet. But he's just told us the songs that he'd like to release, and it might be a nice little EP. Could be nice. I'm really excited by it. Really excited by it. Oh, and also 7arecords.com, by the way, if you want to have a look. Also, I can't even tell you who we had an email from earlier on today saying, yes, you can release one of my records. You can release a concert of mine that's never been released before. WTF? I said to Glenn's getting a copy of the contract. I said, I want a copy, and I want it framed on my wall. If you want to have a look at the silly little record label, 7arecords.com or facebook.com/7arecords. Anyway, Rashid, then Russ, then Eben. Boom. Yes, Rashid.
Iain!
Rashid!
Iain, I had a friend called Iain.
Oh, yeah.
But they used to... It was a Jamaican family, and they used to call him Iain! Iain!
I don't like the name Iain. It's too many vowels. It's a very weak name. And also, I was listening to another radio presenter called Iain last night, and then he had a call from someone called Iain, and I hate it when there are three Ians. It just sits uncomfortably with me.
Iain, do you know what my middle name is?
Is it Iain?
Wayne.
Wang?
Wayne.
Wang?
Wayne.
I know he's saying Wayne, guys, but I'm amusing myself by saying Wang. Wang?
Wayne.
Wayne.
Yes.
Well, someone has to be.
Iain.
Yes.
I used to go around my mate's house, yeah, Jamaican Iain, yeah, and have dinner, and we used to have mashed potato, corned beef, and cabbage. How about that?
That's a proper meal. That is a proper meal, Rashid.
Mashed potato.
Yeah.
What did I say? Mashed potato, cabbage, and corned beef with a bit of hot pepper sauce.
Wow.
I tell ya, nice that was.
Yeah.
But you know, I phoned a few times now, haven't I, Iain? I would like to tell you a bit about myself, my background, if possible.
Oh, here we go. Look, so what's happened here, guys? Is this sucker has been reeled in. I've won his confidence so that I can get these vital private details, and then I'm going to destroy him. But shh, let's listen. Away you go, Rashid.
Okay. Grew up in the West Midlands.
Yes.
I spent most of my youth playing football.
Yeah.
Got into a bit of trouble.
Uh-oh.
And...
drugs?
Got into a bit of trouble with the police, a bit of fighting.
Yeah.
My mum got frightened, and she said, you got to go and live at your auntie's in Solihull.
Oh.
So she called for a cab. I jumped in.
Yeah.
And finally I got to Solihull. I said to the cabbie, I said, I'll see you later. And I pulled up in Solihull, and,
Are you just...
my new life.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Are you just quoting the lyrics to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to me?
Oh, I got busted. You busted me.
Thank you very much indeed. We're too good for you, Rashid. We're too good for that. Russ.
I was sucked in.
Oh, listen, I don't trust any of you guys. Everybody that phones in, right, I've been doing this live show, and I did it last night in St Albans. And the one thing I've learnt, Russ, from doing phone-in radio for, God knows, 15 years, is I don't trust any of you. All of you want to try and catch me out, and you're just not good enough.
I ain't done it for years, to be fair. I used to love playing up presenters, but maybe I need to get back on it.
There was, I listened to, on the way home the other night, someone did a proper prank call to another radio station. It was Amateur Hour presenting it. And he's like, he's quite new to phone-in radio. And he got all excited, right, because it was like 1:30 in the morning. He went, oh, Nigel Farage has called in. Good evening, Nigel. And this voice went. Now, if I was going to phone up and pretend to be Nigel Farage, I talk a bit like this. I say, yes, good evening, Nigel Farage here. Yeah. Yeah, it's Nigel Farage. I talk like that, right? But this voice went, hello, yes. Right? Now, instantly, I'm thinking, that ain't Nigel Farage. And then the presenter did this long spiel about how he was really thrilled to be talking to Nigel Farage, and it went off about 2 minutes, about a minute and a half. And he said, "So, Nigel, what have you called in for?" And you could hear this guy panicking because he didn't think he'd get this far, and he went, actually, it's not Nigel Farage, you've been pranked. And he put the phone down. And it was just one of those, you don't get those anymore, Russ, and you'll know this, having listened to radio. You used to, for a long time, you used to get that quite a bit, the prank call. You've done it, I've done it. And you don't get that on radio stations anymore. If anybody, here's the thing, if anybody can phone up Julia Hartley-Brewer and prank her and send me the recording, boy oh boy, you get a gold pass. You get an Iain Lee certified gold pass, okay? But it was just a delicious moment. I wish the fake Nigel Farage had held his nerve a little bit longer, but he didn't, and it don't matter.
I did a good one with Mendoza years ago on Al Rantel in America, where it went on for about 20 minutes, pretending to be Ozzy Osbourne, and that was my proudest moment.
Anyone that eats a cake laced with LSD minutes before going on air and starts tripping their nuts off like Mendoza did once deserves everything they get. Never eat food sent in by a listener.
Is that on YouTube? That footage?
It's got to be. It's not footage. It's the audio. It's got. It'll be around. It'll be around somewhere. Someone was tweeting. I think someone tweeted me a link to it the other day. Actually, it does exist. I've heard it. It's absolutely. Oh, it's brilliant. The first hour of the show is all right. It's kind of normal, and then after the news at 11, it just starts being a bit weird, right? But there's really long pauses, and then he just sort of goes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking at the screen. What is? No. Sorry. I thought the screen was saying something. Let's go to, and by an hour and a half, it's insane. And I think they put the emergency tape on or something. It's out there somewhere. People can find it if they look for it.
Do you like cake, Iain?
Do I like cake?
Yeah.
I'm cutting down on cake because I'm trying to lose a bit of weight.
I'll send you some in. I heard about you going to the gym.
Yeah.
I really think you're buddy up with Nigel for gym training.
No.
Get your gym slip on and that.
I refuse to watch Nigel's masturbatory videos. I refuse to watch them because I just think it's weird. So I've not seen any of it. I've seen some stills from it, but I've not seen any moving images. I don't want to see an old man pumping off with pictures of children in the background.
Have you seen his Rambo one?
No, I've not seen any of them. I'm aware of it, but I've not seen it.
Probably the best solution.
Exactly.
I actually rang up to talk about the Freddie Mercury documentary that was on last night, but before I do, it come up on my news feed today on Facebook.
Yes.
I don't know if you're aware, the Beach Boys are playing at Scarborough Open Air Theatre in May.
Are they? I didn't know that. I've booked tickets to go and see them at the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, right.
I'm taking my boys. We've got rubbish seats, but they're only £35 each, right? And they're terrible, terrible seats, right up in the gods. But I know they put on a long old show, and my boys will find the whole show a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I'm taking my boys to see the Beach Boys.
Oh, you should have took them to the Scarborough one, mate.
It's miles away.
It is. It's bad.
And it'll chuck it down. It'll chuck it down.
It is nice up there.
It's not,
good
yeah,
venue.
But Scarborough is hardly the British California.
I'll go every summer. I have some good weather up there, but I suppose May is a bit more hit and miss.
Yeah, exactly. Late April showers, and what with global warming and everything.
Yeah. Did you see that documentary last night?
No, I was live on stage. Was it made by my friend Rhys Thomas?
I'm not entirely sure, to be fair.
No, it may well be made by my friend Rhys Thomas, who's like one of their...
It was really good. I mean, the guy who played Freddie, honest to God, you've got to go back and watch it, Iain.
I won't.
It's spooky. Well, if you can.
I won't.
It's so that the mannerisms...
What happened at the end?
It's literally like watching Freddie.
What happened at the end?
I won't spoil it for you.
Didn't turn out too well. I'm not a massive fan of Queen, to be honest, Russ. Thank you for that. I've got to move on because I'm late. I've been late for every ad break this evening. I'm not a massive fan of Queen. And as you know, I don't really watch much TV. I'm watching a lot of Rick and Morty, but I'll finish that tomorrow. So that's. I tell you what I started watching the other day. That hyper normalisation thing, the Adam Curtis thing. I say that as though I know who Adam Curtis is. I don't, but but it goes on for about 3 hours, right? And the first few minutes, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of dead people blood everywhere. Is it all like that? It's about. This is what I think it's about. It's about how come we're all stupid now, isn't it? But we're all stupid because of the internet and news, and that is why. I think, isn't it? I've not watched it, but I watched 5 minutes. I thought, maybe life's too short for this. Eben, stay there. You'll be up next. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. We've had loads of calls this evening, even in the... It normally is very quiet between about 11:15 and 11:45. It just kind of drops off and then it sort of picks up again. Well, we've only got one call lined up now, so if you want to call, now would be an excellent time to call. And if you called before and you didn't get picked up, it's because it's been really, really busy. Do try again. 0344 499 1000. Remember, there are no rules except you can't phone in about Brexit or Trump unless you have something brand new to say about either of those things, which you won't have. All of those conversations have been done to death. There is nothing new to add to them. But if you think you've got something new to add to them, 0344 499 1000. We call you back. Eben!
Hey, Ian.
You sounded shocked that I came to you then. Sorry, was that... hang on a minute, let me come to you again. So 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back. I'm going to go now to my next caller, who is calling from Swansea, and his name begins with an E. Good evening, Eben.
Evening, Ian.
Boom, there we go. That was it. What you got for us, boss?
I'm just trying to say how I totally agree how local radio is getting a bit downhill, because I was listening to a bit of local radio in the morning yesterday.
Yeah.
In Swansea, and there was more adverts than speaking.
Well, it's a weird thing, right? Because the adverts pays the bills, and the adverts pays the wages, and you know, and I'm kind of hoping that my show gets more. Here's the weird thing: I want more adverts in it because it means that the station's doing well, it means that my show is doing well, it means that it's very, very healthy. And I know that radio stations are struggling to be able to pay the bills and stuff, so I can kind of understand it. But yes, it would annoy the hell out of me to have. But were the hosts? Was the show good enough that you wanted to stick around through the adverts to hear the rest of the show?
Probably not.
Oh.
This one guy has been on this radio station for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he just rattled on about how you could run a romantic meal for two in a steakhouse.
Oh.
And just general stuff. And get callers to sing along to a song.
Well, he sounds like a crazy guy. What's
came to my school.
He came to your school?
Yeah.
What, to give a talk?
No, just to give a motivational speech.
Oh. And how motivational was his speech?
Not that motivational.
Oh.
He mainly talked about himself.
I suppose that you kind of have to talk about yourself, though, don't you? Really, as I imagine. I don't. Well, all right then. What would I'm trying to think what I would say in a motivational speech. Be the better you that you dream of being tomorrow, today, now. That's quite good, isn't it? But can someone get a picture? If Scott's listening, can you get a picture of the silhouette of a Native American Indian stood on a mountain, and then print these words: "Be the better you that you dream of being tomorrow, today, now." Boom. There we go. That is actually very, very wise philosophy.
And I was also filling in about how I totally agree with you about the gym and how it's awkward when you go in by yourself.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
But now I'm of an age, I don't think people are actually looking at me. Because I'm not looking at other people. I saw a bloke, Eben, right? There was a bloke on the treadmill, and he had tracksuit trousers on and a T-shirt, but he had a jumper on over the... He was wearing a jumper while he was running on the treadmill.
I've seen that quite a bit in my gym.
A jumper?
Yeah.
A jumper?
Yeah, I mainly see, like, the older people doing that.
That's insane, man. How can you wear a jumper and run in a really hot gym?
I'm not sure.
Well...
I get hot in a T-shirt.
I was sweating like a pig. I don't know, do pigs actually sweat? Pigs, I don't think pigs...
they do.
I don't think they do, because that's why they jump in the mud. It's not because they like it, it's to cool down, because I don't think... Here we go, guys, the last 35 minutes of the show take shape. I don't think that pigs have sweat glands. And that's why they have to... Them and hippopotami, that's why they have to... They get all muddy, and it's to cool them down.
That sounds...
The farmer will be... Eben, listen, thank you for that. A farmer will be listening and will let us know. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome to, guys. Oh! There's a Bruce Lee story in the papers. I'm going, as you know, I'm on a bit of a Bruce Lee trip at the moment. We had the gentleman from the Bruce Lee clones, who's off to Hong Kong very soon. I'm watching his Twitter feed with great excitement. We had Bay Logan on the other week. Listen, look at this, Bruce Lee. Oh, what's that? Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee used to teach James Coburn and Steve McQueen Kung Fu. Teach me Kung Fu. And he did. He used to teach them, right? Bruce Lee's notes about Steve McQueen when he was a pupil at his martial arts school, they sold them, right? £20,000. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Had I known they had been up for sale, I would have bought them. I would love to own a pair of Bruce Lee's nunchuckers. Whoa, baby, baby, baby. That would be awesome. 6 bidders battled it out. Not karate style. What they should have done is they should have got the 6 people in a ring, right? A circular ring, right? With loads of Chinese people sort of up. The seating would be completely around it, but it would go up high. So there'd be like... And it will be indoors and it'll be hot. And there'll be a chicken in there as well. And then these papers that the people wanted... They'd be on top of a really tall pole. I'm going to say 9 foot, but I'd need to see the actual... I need to see the whole setup before I can make a definitive statement on how tall the pole would be. And I would put the papers on the top of the pole, right? So it's a thin pole. It's not greased or anything, but it's thin, and there's like a platform that's the size of a dinner plate, and on the top, and the papers are on there, right? And you let the people in, right? And all the Chinese are doing all that in Chinese. Some will be speaking in English because, and they'll be waving, they'll be waving like betting slips. And then the chickens, there'll be a couple of chickens running around. It'll be really dusty in there, right? And then what would happen is that the 6 men they've been kidnapped, right? And they get thrown in. They get like the eye masks ripped off, right? And they're like blinking away. What's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. And they get thrown into the ring, and they're like, "What is this? We've been in the back of a car. What's going on?" And then they look around and they go, "Oh, it's Stevie. That's Wang Lung. That's Tony. They're all Bruce Lee. Oh, Bruce." And then they'll see the bit of thing. They go, "Oh yeah, I see what's going on. We got to fight. Right, have it." then it'd be really dusty in there. That's the key thing, right? Is it's really, really dusty in there. And they'd have to start fighting each other, like karate style and kung fu. Some of them are just like businessmen and they don't know any fighting. They don't know anything like that. And, it would just get nasty, and some of them would have, weapons, and they'd have a wicked fight and stuff, and, it would kick off. That's how I would do it if I was going to do it. And then, I'd have this music playing in the background. But it'll be like a rich Chinese businessman, right? So I would hire Frankie from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and I'd get him to re-record it to when 6 Tribes go to war. No, I wouldn't. I'd have him singing it live with a backing track. That's what I would do. And I'd film it. And then the person that got it wins it fair and square. But they didn't. They went for the more traditional memorabilia auction. 6 bidders battled it out in an auction in Los Angeles. Inside the 4-page file booklet, Lee wrote McQueen's name, age, address, city, phone number, so you could phone Steve McQueen up. Date of birth, marital status, and occupation. The file also reveals Lee signed McQueen's first promotion on October the 17th, 1967. Now I think about it, they really missed a chance not following my idea there.
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We've got no calls lined up for the last 30 minutes. That's cool, guys. You don't have to call in if you don't want to. You've been really busy on the phones tonight, so it's not as if I can have a go. It is fast becoming a new Christmas tradition that rubbish winter wonderlands are outed in the newspapers as being hugely disappointing and people considering them a rip-off and upset. I love these stories. Stories of families being ripped off and children being upset once they come to the realisation that everything they've been told is a lie. This is in all the papers, and it's absolute genius. It's a picture of some grumpy-looking people. There's a helter-skelter there. You don't see helter-skelters very often. Walking through a muddy field by a jacket potato shop. A Christmas attraction has been branded a rip-off by angry visitors who said they were forced to walk through muddy fields to reach an incomplete Santa's grotto. Well, you can't blame those guys for the muddy fields, right? That's unfair, I think, to blame them for the muddy fields. Because they've got to set up somewhere, and it's been very wet recently. They can't make snow, because the fake snow is rubbish. The fake snow it's disgusting. Customers blasted the Bakewell Winter Wonderland in Derbyshire after paying... Now, it's not like they've paid a fortune, okay? It's not like they paid 20 quid per person in the family. £7 each. That's £7 each, right? You know that whatever costs £7 is going to be a little bit ropey, don't you? £7! It's nothing. As well as an extra £5 for parking. Well, that sounds like a bargain. Pictures of the attraction taken by visitors when it opened on Friday show a few stalls and fairground rides dotted around a field. So it's a fair. Jean Sanderson of Chesterfield described it as horrendous. She said, the entrance was not fit for pushchairs and disabled people. Well, it's in a field, you know. What do you expect them to do? And the Santa's Grotto was not even finished yet. There's no picture of the Santa's Grotto, so I can't verify Gene Sanderson. I'm not calling Gene Sanderson a liar. That would be libel. But Gene, first of all, have any disabled people complained about this? Don't think so. We don't know. Secondly, there's no pictures of the Santa's Grotto. So, Gene, I'm just reserving the right to not totally buy into your one-sided propaganda, okay? In the days of post-truth politics, I don't know what that means, actually. We say post-truth politics a lot. I don't know what it means. And it means you can lie, doesn't it? It just means lying. Okay, I'm not saying she's a liar, though. Some children were upset. Well, that's their parents' fault for raising their expectations stupidly. If I'm a parent, right, and I'm taking my boys to something that costs £7, I would say to them, I should warn you now, boys, probably going to be a little bit ropey. What does ropey mean, Daddy? Not very good. What makes you say that? It's £7. £7? Yeah, you'll learn soon, kids. £7 is not a lot of money per person for a day's entertainment. Oh, so low expectations. That way we can't be disappointed. All right, Daddy. Boom. That's what you've got to do, isn't it? You've got to be realistic. And here we go. This whole story seems to come from Gene Sanderson. She also says, I expected to see more stalls. Well, that's your problem, baby. That's your problem. You expected to see more stalls? There were not many. Well, how many were there? And how many did you expect? And how realistic were your expectations, if you're being completely honest, Gene? She says, I know the weather doesn't help, but the organisation was poor. There was no atmosphere at all. It's in a field. What atmosphere is there going to be? The only time there's atmosphere in a field when everybody's loved up on pills and dancing to terrible music. She then goes on to say, there was no Santa and they were building the grotto when we got there. We left as there was nothing there. Apparently Santa came later. Kath, come in. If Kath's getting angry. Miss Sanderson was later given a refund after her visit on Friday. Well, she got her money back, so that's all right, isn't it? You have to climb, that's it. Oh, you touched it, you're locked in. Do we go back and do we waste a crystal on getting Catherine back? No, she would actually, we're glad she got locked in. She would have been a hindrance.
Automatic lock-in.
Say big twat lock-in?
No, automatic.
I thought you said big twat.
Don't stop saying that word. That's really rude.
Go on. So what's your beef?
It's November.
Yeah.
How Christmassy do you want to feel in November?
You took your kids to see Father Christmas last weekend, so don't even start having a go at Gene Sanderson of Chesterfield.
I paid more than £7.
Hundreds of other visitors took to social media to complain. So it's a story from Twitter. Kat Haswell said, Bakewell Winter Wonderland. What a joke. No Santa, no Christmas cheer.
What are you doing?
And had to pay a £7 before we knew. The event, which was held at Bakewell Showground, is due to open again from December the 9th to the 11th. What? A Showground spokesman said, the event had some initial setbacks on the Friday due to a bad storm in the early hours of the morning. There was a storm! Unfortunately, this delayed the arrival of some traders and resulted in damage to the grotto. No. This is bad. This is in all the papers, right? And they are now destroying these poor independent business folk who've used their initiative, which we should be applauding, to try and create a little bit of magic. They've had the elements against them. Storms, bad weather. And now, because some idiots went on Twitter and slagged it off, it's in all the papers.
Should they have not opened that day? It sounds like they shouldn't have.
This delayed the arrival of some traders and resulted in damage to the grotto, which the event organiser rectified within 2 hours. This is the only time Santa and his reindeer were unavailable. Visitors requesting a refund were given one. Organisers, sorry to hear that some people have not enjoyed the event, but the majority of feedback has been positive.
So people getting the wrong end of the stick and going off on one on Twitter? Wow.
Let me see what it says in The Sun.
It never happens.
Let's see what it says in The Sun. Because I think it's in all the papers. Is it in The Sun? Oh, there's a picture of Pudsey Bear with a willy.
Yeah, has he got his suit on back to front, or is that an actual rude Pudsey? Because does Pudsey have a tail?
Oh, he might have it on Back to Front.
Yeah.
Might be it. There we go. Santa's. Oh well, then the Sun have done an unfair picture. They've taken the picture from. That looks all right. They've just taken the picture from like the car park, so that's unfair.
Yeah, you're
That's
getting a lot of...
misleading. What do they say about it in there?
Families forking out £7. You don't fork out £7.
£7 is nothing.
You don't
guys.
fork.
Come on.
£7 to enter a Christmas, quote marks, Wonderland.
Yeah.
We're furious to find it a half-empty, awful,
Yes.
quote marks, mud bath. Why? It's been stormy. You're in Bakewell. It's going to be muddy. Parents said it was just a fun fair in a boggy field. Yeah.
Yeah.
With fragile, quote marks, rides surrounded by booze and burger vans. Listen, if there was no mulled wine there, they'd be moaning.
Yeah.
Organisers of the Bakewell Winter Wonderland and Christmas Market near Derby, because it's in Bakewell, blamed, and again, quote marks, awful weather. But one visitor, Simon Brown, 37, in case you were wondering about his age,
Yes.
said, quote marks, I'm trying to work out if this was a parody or a joke.
Could be both.
Bad weather, wasn't it?
Could be neither.
Mm.
It's just bad weather. Guys, people are trying to do something a little bit different. They're trying to bring some cheer and some joy.
Why would you drag your kids out to that when it was so horrible anyway?
Exactly. Hey, you know, here's an interesting conundrum for you.
Go on.
Mary Berry.
Yes.
Posh totty.
Well.
So she doesn't do Great British Bake Off anymore. In America, do you know what the programme is called?
It's called... Yeah, I do know what it's called, but I've forgotten.
It's something like the Great British Baking Show.
Yes.
Right. They have an American version called the American Baking Show. Same thing, same show. Do you know who hosts it? I'll tell you. Mary Berry. She hosts the American Baking Show, which is the Great British Bake Off, but American. Right. So she hosts it.
Yeah.
So, when the Great British Bake Off goes to Channel 4, and she's not hosting that, will she still be hosting the American Baking Show? There's no reason she won't be.
No.
So she...
It wouldn't be in competition with the BBC,
No.
would it?
So she is Cock of the North. She is Queen Sheba. So, she's left it when it goes to Channel 4. Brilliant, right? She's getting her own show. She's already got her own show on BBC One. They said, we're going to give you this some boring cookery show, whatever it is, right? But then, she still gets to fly to America to present the same show in America, probably for more money. Well, she's done the conversion rate.
Is it not made by BBC Worldwide?
No. I don't know. I'm saying no.
You don't know?
I'm saying no emphatically because in our post-truth era,
doesn't matter.
You're allowed to do that, right?
Just go with your emotions.
She shouldn't be allowed to present that show. Paul Hollywood should be allowed to present that show.
He's got the right name for America.
Exactly. She should be fired from America's Baking Show and sent home, cattle class, with a spatula in her bowl, and shamed.
You're a hard man.
I just don't understand how she's got the bloody nerve, that woman, the bloody nerve to go, oh yes, oh no, I'm sticking with the BBC, knowing she's getting big dollar, getting a few greenbacks, a little bit of the George Washingtons, right, over in the States doing the same show. What a slimy little toe rag she is. Outrageous.
Or...
She makes me sick.
Or...
Yeah, go on.
Fair play, market forces.
Yeah, I suppose so. Good point.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Thank you, James. James, we've got a spy in America working.
Is he the one that's going to give me a TV show?
Yeah. Or the only TV show I did with him in this country was Pony.
I can do Pony.
But anyway, James is our spy in America.
Yeah.
Right. He's our man. I'm not going to give out his last name because I don't want the FBI to get wise. Okay. Admittedly, I've just retweeted a thing of his, but so you can find him. But he just tweeted me. Right. Hollywood was dropped from the show a year ago. So Hollywood presented the American Baking Show with Mary Berry, and then he got dropped because he had it off with that lady.
Was that the reason, or was it because he
Well,
was
here we go.
Scouse?
Now James has sent me a link to a story from 3 years ago, and it is Hollywood's TV career in US is toast after his affair with presenter Bake Off star. Did he have it off with Mary Berry? Is dropped by TV bosses as angry viewers react against his sexy senorita Marcella. Oh, so that was his ambition to conquer America led to the bitter breakup of his marriage, and now Paul Hollywood has seen that dream disappear after his US TV show was cancelled. The American baking competition was meant to make Hollywood a superstar, but fell flat after poor ratings and his alleged affair. So he's got the boot from it, and Berry's taken over. Well, that explains a lot then. That explains why he's quite happy. He feels no loyalty to Mary Berry whatsoever. So he's gone to Channel 4.
Swapsies.
Good for him. Good for him, I think.
I mean, not that you care about that programme at all. You never watched it, have you?
No, I've never watched it. I don't want to interrupt you, but one more I'ma block you, like you care. I don't want to, someone's tweeted me. I don't want to interrupt you, but one more, and I'ma block you.
Okay.
But block me for, I don't know what I've done.
One more what? Tweet.
Should I say one more what? Tweet or boom? Because he's reacting to the... No, it was strange.
But it's nice of him to let you know.
Oh, it's getting tense, guys. What if Filthy Lurker blocks me on Twitter? It's getting tense.
Is it an egg?
It's getting tense. No, it's a picture of an old actor. It's getting tense. What if he blocks me? Don't block me.
Gosh, it'd be sad if he blocks you, won't
Don't
it?
block me, please. I'm begging you. Don't block me. Don't block me. We talked about Pudsy's penis.
Yeah. It's his tail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Careless, though, putting it on that way.
Let's have a little look through the old Los Papillons. Did you have a good weekend?
Can't remember it. What did I do? Oh, yeah, I went to see Father Christmas.
Yep.
And the day before, we went to a child's birthday party. So, yeah, fun times.
Jeez, it just gets... James, thank you. I'm so glad we've got a spy on American soil.
Yeah.
It makes my life so much easier. So the baking show is coming back this December, next month. Unbelievable.
We're so current, aren't we?
So current. Plane halted by blocked loos. Here we go.
Oh, again.
PIA, Pakistan International Airways. There's an airline.
Pia.
A jet made an emergency landing after someone blocked a toilet.
That's your trick.
That is my speciality. And the battle to flush it. There was a battle to flush a toilet.
They don't know the technique, do they? They'll fist.
Left all the loos kaput. The Pakistan International Airlines captain took the drastic action because up to 300 passengers on board still had 8 hours to go before touching down. Well, they were certainly touching cloth.
Go on, you can have that.
Thank you.
Well done.
His Boeing 777 was over the North Sea after crossing the Atlantic bound for Pakistan. Here we go, look. He's replied.
Good.
One more stupid timeline-hogging arsehole BS video. Or whatever. Oh, I'm blocking you. I'm not playing you.
What a charming chap.
Block that. There we go. Go on. Silly sausage. The Pakistan International... His Boeing 777 was over the North Sea after crossing the Atlantic bound for Pakistan. He diverted 200 miles to Manchester, where the plane spent hours on the ground having its plumbing cleaned out.
Oh.
It is a nasty job, but someone has to be the bathroom technician. The airline tweeted after the flight from Toronto in Canada finally arrived in Lahore 5 hours late, inconvenience to passengers is regretted. Officials accuse someone of having flushed something solid on Saturday afternoon.
No, you know what, Sherlock?
They refused to say what the mystery blockage was, but explained, as all toilets are connected with a common drain line, the rest of the toilets were choked. Aviation consultant Philip White, 63, said poo could not be ruled out.
No, you have to use a plunger.
Especially if the system hadn't been emptied on the turnaround.
Oy.
He said, if every passenger goes to the toilet, that's a lot of waste. Philip White said this is a quote. It's an expensive jobby when you take into account the fuel and delay time. Wow. I mean, that made the newspaper.
Would you claim that?
Of course I would. Yeah, totally.
No, you would.
My dump grounded an airplane.
You might want to leave that 5 hours.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Hasn't that happened before? Yeah, I'm sure it has. In recent history. I've probably got a file on it somewhere. To check my records.
Dwarves. Is that what I don't know what we call them. It's not dwarfs, is it?
Well, they have dwarfism.
Yeah, but it's not dwarfs. It's dwarves.
Mm.
Okay, well, it says here angry dwarfs. Angry dwarfs.
Do you say roofs or roofs?
Roofs.
Yeah, people don't though, do they? Hoofs and hooves.
Well, they're idiots.
I know.
The people that say these things are absolute idiots. It's as simple as that.
Mm.
Angry dwarfs have been axed from pantos.
Gosh.
Because taller actors charge less for playing the roles on their knees.
Right. Might as well not bother, I think, if you're going to do that.
They say they are being ditched this Christmas because of cost-cutting by theatre bosses. The little actors are paid around £1,200 a week, while taller stars make between £450 and £750 a week. One of the biggest pantomime companies admits that it is using non-dwarf performers for its productions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Dwarves. Kudos Entertainment, dubbed the enemy by one furious dwarf.
Which one?
You know which one.
You can't.
You know which one. Gives taller actors a special costume to create the illusion of being smaller. But dwarf actor Mark Seeley, who worked for Kudos during a 25-year career, said, said, I won't do the voice, it's a ridiculous thing to do. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, not Snow White and the Tall People.
True, he's got you there.
It's a clear cost-cutting exercise. Panto Dwarf, oh gosh, we're nearly out of time.
Quick.
James Lusted said, when you're on stage, the kids love it. It's a great feeling to hear the gasps when they see us. Film and TV dwarf Warwick Davis, 46, who'd starred in Harry Potter and Star Wars, as an Ewok, said, some people say it's a matter... Oh, I'm bored of that story. He was an Ewok, you know, and he was in Caravan of Courage. It's not...
Yeah, he was in Willow.
Well, petered out at the end there, dear listener. That happens sometimes. What are you going to do about it? It's my job. Do what I want. My ball. I'm taking it home. Till tonight at 10. Ta-ta.
Talk Radio. Intelligent, organic entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.